A very good evening to you from Jalan Besar Stadium. It's Lion City Sailors up against Hougang United in the AIA Singapore Premier League. Absolutely massive game here for Hougang. We'll talk about that in just a short while. We'll remind you of the other fixtures this weekend. Geylang International take on Young Lions. That is a big game as well for very different reasons. That's at 5:30 tomorrow. At the same time, Albrechts Negata host Balestier Khalsa. And on Sunday, Tampines Rovers, they are hosting Tanjong Pagar United. Now, why is it a massive game for Hougang? Well, if you can see there on the table, they are 5 points behind Lion City Sailors, 8 behind Albrechts Negata. Nothing less than a win here if they want to retain any hopes of getting that first ever title. Well, thank you very much for joining us here at Jalan Besar Stadium. My name here is Shazad Haq. I'm very happy to say I'm joined by my old partner in crime, Rish Roshan Rai. Good to be working with you back on local football. Yep. We're all about substance rather than hype. And talking of substance, Roshan, our team here, Lion City Sailors, they've married that with style, haven't they? Yep. And they put themselves in a really good position to put pressure on Albrechts Negata should they win tonight.
Yeah, and I love that statement, substance over hype. I really like that. And I think, that's what the Lion City Sailors have delivered as well. A lot of hype around them this season. But the fact that they are here still challenging for the title, win tonight and they go back top of the table. Lots of expectations, lots of pressure on their shoulders. The expectation is we've had foreign sides winning the league year after year, season after season. Fans out there want to see a local side finally taking it. We've got a proper title race. Hougang as well, I've got to give them props for the way that the season has gone for them so far. The fact that they're in third position with an opportunity tonight to close that gap between themselves and the Lion City Sailors. And it might be a little bit too far in terms of that title race, but let's remember there's still AFC Champions League football they could potentially be looking at next season.
Yeah, just a reminder, of course, you finished the second highest local side, can either go to the Champions League. Also, the third team here has a chance to go into AFC Cup action as well. So there's a lot to play for.
There is a lot to play for. And I mean, it's not just here tonight. Yes, our focus is on these games tonight. But you think about the bottom half of the table and suddenly Tanjong Pagar United, Geylang International, with Tampines faltering over the last few weeks. So they've got a shot at AFC Cup football for next season. So the league is just looking wonderfully poised going into the next few weeks. Yeah, perfectly balanced, isn't it? And we're looking forward to the next few weeks of action. But let's get into the team lineups now. With some interesting news, of course, the former Korean, now Singaporean, Song Woo-young celebrates his citizenship. Of course, that's been the big news in the last few days. He gets a place in the starting 11 today, along with Tajali Salamat and Akari Abdullah and Gabriel Kwak on the bench. And what do you make of that? It's a strong lineup. I mean, look at Lion City Sailors, look at the players in there. I just looked at the selection for the recent Singapore international squad. You mentioned Song Woo-young celebrating his citizenship straight into the national team. That's brilliant, isn't it, for him? And 11 Lion City players in the Singapore squad as well. So I mean, what do I really need to say about that squad? It's an incredible looking side. For me, the players I really want to keep an eye on here in this game, Saifullah Akbar. He's been excellent, a wonderfully talented young player, and Faris Ramli, another one who's sort of been rejuvenated under the leadership of Kim Do-hoon, who's given him lots of game time now and an opportunity to, start to play in these positions where he's given a bit of freedom in those areas. Saifullah, a young man with a big future ahead of him. What I like about him is he's not just talented on the ball, it's not just his quality on the ball, it's the fact that he works really, really hard. You have a look at his work rate as well, pressing, closing down in midfield, that defensive side of the game as well, he's working hard on. And then those late runs into the box, into those attacking areas in those positions, and that's why he's been adding goals to his game recently as well. And that's going to be something that helps him. Add those numbers, people start to notice you a little bit more. Yeah, 4 goals he's got to his name. Now, the other one that you mentioned is Faris Ramli, who had, let's say, a frustrating first half of the season, but he's flourished under the new coach, Kim Do-hoon, and he's pretty much played a very, very big part in all 4 games since Kim's taken over. Yeah, and I think it's something he spoke about as well, the fact that, he wasn't getting too many minutes in terms of that game time under Vidmar. And Kim Do-hoon comes in, and it's great for not just him, but some of these other players as well. Tajali's another one who's getting minutes under Kim Do-hoon. So it's a new coach coming in, and it's a new opportunity to make an impression. And the fact that he's been getting this game time, and as a player, especially when you're a player like Faris, who's that flair player who likes to try things. At times you can lose possession of the ball in certain situations. To have a coach that trusts you and says, go and do this job for us, I believe in you, it certainly helps improve his confidence levels.
It's also put a very good defensive shift in as well with the new coach.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that in a little while, but let's now look at the lineup for Hougang United. And there are also a couple of other changes. So one change, in fact, with Anders Aplin. He returns from suspension, Roshan, and he replaces Nazrul Nazari. We also got to tell you, of course, that Idraki Adnan, as we all know, and Maksan Jakibalia, they're out for the season. But good for them. Is that a boost to have Anders Aplin back at right back?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, it's interesting because you say at right back, but I'm looking at this formation, looking at this lineup, and I'm thinking,
could they play three?
Could there be a three at the back? Could it be five across the back? What's the surprise that Clementino is looking to spring here on the Lion City Sailors? Because you've got Shawal Anwar in there, you've got Naufal Asman in there, Kishon Philip in there as well, and Tomiyuki Doi. So that's quite an attacking quartet that you've got in those positions. So I'm interested to see what the sort of formation is going to be once they start to line up on that pitch. But again, this is a Hougang United side that has got some really good talented players in there that can hurt you in those counter-attacking situations.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing how they set up. And talking of the defenders, Lionel Tan is someone that you picked out for this match.
Yeah, look, I think he's someone who... I picked him out. I want to put a bit of a spotlight on him as well. I think he's been quite solid in central defense for Hougang. He's been pretty consistent for them. And at times when they need him to play out from the back, he is one of their players to do it. With Maksat now as well. Out with an MCL injury, he's going to have a big part to play. I like the way he sort of communicates with his teammates as well. So I want to just highlight him because his role is going to be really important here against what can be a very fluid, very mobile Lion City Sailors attack.
Must be knocking on that national setup as well. We're going to look forward to seeing him playing for his country one day. Okay, we mentioned earlier that Lion City Sailors are on a very, very good run at the moment. 12 matches unbeaten and 4, of course, under Kim Do-hoon. But the last time they lost was against this very side. 3-1 they lost to Hougang United, but they've recovered superbly, haven't they? So 1 loss all season, that's very good.
Yeah, that kind of loss, maybe sort of jolted them into a really good run of form. Was it 12 matches unbeaten coming into this, which in their young history is a club record, of course. but they've been wonderful. I mean, when you think of the fact that the players have also had to adapt and adjust to essentially 3 different coaches with 3 different ideas. Remember, Robin came in after
That's right, he was an interim.
He had 2 or 3 games with them as an interim coach. He would have had his own ideas, of course, in the short term. And then Kim Do-hoon coming in, and he's already changing the style up in training sessions. You know, read an interview on the Lion City Sales website. Stipe Plazibat has spoken about how training sessions are longer, more detailed, more intense. And it's brilliant. These players are still adjusting to it.
You love this goal. I heard you on commentary the other day.
I got a little bit carried away, but it was a brilliant goal.
It was a good goal.
To be carried away with. And, wonderful from Haikal Pasha to score his first goal of the season, his first goal for Lion City Sailors in wonderful style. And then Felipe, when he got this second, he thought, that's a cushion for the Lion City Sailors. And in the final 20 minutes or so of this game, they really struggled a little bit. They had to hold on. Because the Jaguars, Tanjung Pagar United, were knocking at their door.
And that's credit to Tanjung Pagar, because they quite often come back quite late in games, don't they, to cause problems.
Look, I think it's amazing. A bigger picture around the league. It's a big deal for the league that these sides, I remember talking about 2 different league tables, top 4 and bottom 4.
Yeah.
And now we start to see Geylang and Tanjung Pagar United being competitive, and that just helps the league overall.
Stipe Plazibat, of course, is playing against his old club. He's been there twice before. He has banged in plenty of goals in his time in Singapore. He's saying, Roshan, that things have changed. It's very intense in training, but now they're all expected to play in different roles and be very fluid in attack. Look at this one, potentially.
Yeah, look, he drops off into these areas, but Stipe Plazibat, that's what he gives you, and that's a part of his game for a couple of seasons now. Even when he was at Hougang in that recent spell, there were times when he had to play in midfield to help out with the squad. You see him just dropping into these deeper areas, creating opportunities, and finding the back of the net. And I mean, strikers are going to be judged upon that, how many goals you score at the end of the season. But he's such a complete forward in this league. You know, it's not just about the goals with him. It's also his ability to bring others into play. And we talk about that fluidity and playing with that intensity. when he does drop off, he's got players like, in that game against Tampines, for example, the likes of Gabriel, who's got the speed, Faris, who's got the speed to run in behind him. All those runners from midfield, Saifullah making those late runs from midfield to run in behind. When Stipe Plaza does drop off into those areas and drag central defenders along with him. So it's a really fluid sort of attacking forward line. And it's quite fun to watch.
It's great to have someone like that drop, and then you have the quick runners like Gabriel Quack, like Faris Rumley, and now today Song Woo-young. So we look forward to that. That's all about Lion City Sailors. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about Hougang United. Just about 15 minutes or so till kickoff here at Jalan Besar Stadium. Hougang United versus Lion City Sailors. Past 5 meetings, Roshan, how balanced is this? 2 wins apiece and a draw between these two sides.
Excellent, excellent for us, the neutrals watching here, and especially I think this season, in the recent past, this season is what I'm sort of looking at. A win for Hougang and a win for the Lion City Sailors in that return match. So we're going to get a bit of a decider here in this one. So. Should be good. I mean, these two sides will know a lot about each other. We'll know about where the strengths and the weaknesses are. So I'm fascinated to see how, again, as I said, Hougang line up tactically to try and deal with those threats and be a threat of their own against the Lion City Sailors.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've had a lot of us talking. Now let's hear from the men in charge, the 2 head coaches of Lion City Sailors and Hougang United.
Coach, after last week's game, you said you were happy to get the result, but you weren't overly impressed by the team's performance. So what was the focus at training this week?
아니, 저번 경기에서는 승리에는 만족했지만 경기력에 있어서는 좀 부족하였다고 얘기하셨는데요. 이번 경기에는 어떻게 준비를 하셨나요?
네, 이번에는 홈에서 하는 경기고 또 승리를 위해서 최선을 다할 것이고 또 그라운드 상태도 좋기 때문에 우리가 가질 수 있는 패스 게임이라든지 볼 소유에 의해서 또 상대 진영에서의 조합적인 플레이에 좀 중점을 두고 준비했습니다.
So it's a home game. We're playing on a good field today as well. So we make sure that we play our game. We focus on building up from the back and combination plays throughout our players.
Hougang sit behind you in third place and have been much improved this season. What have you identified as their biggest strengths?
하우강이 3위로 지금 있는데요. 하우강의 가장 큰 장점이 뭐라고 생각하세요?
네, 일단 뭐 득점을 선두를 달리고 있는 선수가 있고 또 침투 움직임에 대해서 굉장히 좋은 모습들을 보이고 있어서 우리 수비수들이 그 침투하는 움직임에 대한 방어만 잘한다 이러면 우리 경기를 할 수 있다고 저는 생각하고 있습니다.
First of all, they have the league's top scorer, and also we feel that the wingers get very good runs, so it's up to our fullbacks to defend them well. As long as we defend them, we should have a decent game, yes.
We saw Akari Abdullah stretch it off last week. Can you give us an update on his injury status?
저번에 아카리가 부상으로 스트레처에서 나왔는데요. 부상에 대한 업데이트 혹시 있으신가요?
예, 뭐 굉장히 큰 부상인 줄 알았는데 또 다행히 또 회복하는데 빠른 시일 안에 회복을 했고 또 같이 훈련을 했습니다. 그리고 경기도 준비를 하고 있는 상태입니다.
So we thought that it was a major injury, but luckily it wasn't something too serious. He has recovered quickly and returned to training as well, and he's ready for the game as well.
Okay. Just finally, any other changes to the starting lineup, or are you sticking to a winning formula?
지금 저희 이제 스타팅 11에 변화가 있나요? 아니면 저번 경기처럼 이겨가지고 똑같이 가나요?
예, 뭐 두 자리 정도가 변화를 줬고 또 상대에 따라서 우리가 얼마만큼 우리의 경기를 할 수 있느냐가 중요하다고 저는 생각하고 있습니다. 뭐 어느 선수가 들어가든 자기 역할에 대해서 지금 잘해주고 있기 때문에 그 역할을 충실히 한다 이러면 좋은 결과로 우리 홈에서 승리를 하지 않을까 예상하고 있습니다.
There are a couple of changes, but it's more so about playing our game. I feel that the players, as long as they can do what we ask them to do, we should have a good game.
Coach, how important was it for your team to get a win last week to boost your confidence ahead of one of the top teams in the league?
Yeah, it's important. I mean, naturally every win is important because it gives a lot of encouragement to the team to do well. Yeah.
Do you feel any added pressure knowing that a win today will be crucial in keeping your hopes alive of catching Lion City and Albirex?
Look, at the end of the day, yes, every win is important, immaterial who we play against, and it's going to be a challenge, a huge challenge. I mean, naturally we know that a win will keep us there. Yeah, but ultimately at the end of the day, like I say, it's going to be a challenge because ever since the coach has changed, they have become more disciplined. They have done a lot of things which we saw were very positive. Yeah.
Anders Applin back from suspension today. How important is it to get a player of his quality back, particularly against such a strong attacking team?
I think. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, yes, it's important to get a natural centre back or a defender back from suspension. But at the end of the day, it's important that what's more important for us is that the team works together as one, and he has shown his capabilities, and yeah, we are happy for him to be back.
All right, thank you. Good luck
Thank you.
tonight.
Right, thanks.
We got quite a bit there from both the coaches. So let's focus on Hougang United there. Since the restart, Roshan, they've won a couple, they've lost a couple. They're inconsistent.
Yeah, I think, when I look at their defeats this season, it's 5 defeats on the table. But when you look at that deeper, 4 of the defeats, 3 of them came against Albirex. 1 was against the Lion City Sailors. 1 was against Tanjung Pagar United. So it's not like they're dropping points against sides, sort of in the bottom half of the table. Okay, they had a couple of draws against sides in the bottom half of the table, but generally they've been doing okay. They just haven't really found a nice formula against Albirex Niigata. They found it very difficult to play against the White Swans. And then for the Lion City Sailors, that one was a defeat that was even a closely fought defeat for them. So, I guess the only real loss that they were concerned about was the Tanjung Pagar one, and they didn't look like themselves. But it's important for them in this game against Geylang, I thought, to bounce back with a win, especially after that heavy defeat by Albirex, where I thought it was one of their poorest games of the season for the Cheetahs. But again, at times for Hougang, what I like about them this season is they played some really good high-intensity football, hurting teams in those counter-attacking situations. but also when it's not been really neat on the eye or nice on the eye, perhaps not the best in terms of the quality of play. What they've done really well this season is to find a way to win games. At the end of the day, professional level, it's about getting those 3 points on the board, no matter how you get them. And that's what, that's part of growth as a club as well and as a team.
Shawal Anwar there with a goal and an assist. Roshan, he's made the move across to this club from Geylang International a couple of seasons ago. What have you made of his impact? Because he has a fantastic pace and speed about him, right?
He's a wonderful player. I really, really like Shawal Anwar. 5 assists this season already. You mentioned that goal and the assist the last time out. Pace, yes. Directness in his play, yes. Wonderful qualities. But what people sometimes miss out is the fact that he's actually technically very good as well. When you watch him receive in tight spaces, have a look at that touch at pace, and that's what's important. When you're running as quick as he's running, you got to have a touch that makes sure that ball sticks within you, within that sort of distance where you can then make that second pass or that cross or that finish. So he's got these wonderful technical qualities about him as well, Shawal Anwar. So that's why he's almost his sort of complete package in terms of that inside forward. Pace, strength, wonderful dribbling ability, and good technical quality.
36 goals Hougang United have scored this season. That's right up there. Only Lion City have scored more than them. However, defensively, Roshan, 29 goals conceded. That's the worst in the top 3 by a long, long way. It's just inconsistent, especially on the set-piece defending.
Yeah, worst in the top 3. But third best defense in the league. So it's how you use the stats.
That's how we look at the stats.
But you bring up an excellent point, because if you want to sort of then take that next step towards really challenging for the title, then this is something that you have to address. Conceding goals from these set piece situations. You see Kunimoto here, a couple of examples against Albirex. You've got him running into acres of space unmarked in those situations. And these are things you work on the training ground. You spend quite a lot of time on the training ground. You spend quite a lot of time analyzing these situations to try and stop them happening in matches. And yet they're happening. Incredibly frustrating for your coach, incredibly frustrating for the players as well. So that sort of concentration levels have got to be maintained in those key moments.
Right, we've analysed both sides, Roshan. It's coming down to kick off very, very shortly indeed. How do we see? This is going to be a tentative, cagey affair. We're going to see free-flowing football.
I think we're going to see free-flowing football. I think both these sides really want to have a go at each other. And I think that's what we're going to see. I hope I haven't jinxed it. I know I'm not that powerful. But I think there's lots of attacking quality on display here. So hopefully we'll see goals and lots of chances.
So a 0-0 then it is. No, but listen, we are looking forward to this. Roshan has set this up brilliantly. Kick-off is in just a few minutes. We'll see you soon. We are at Jalan Besar Stadium with the fans in the house here. Great to see them. Remember, 1,000 odd fans allowed into matches now as Lion City Sailors host Hougang United in an absolutely crucial match which has a huge bearing on the title race. Hougang win this, they give themselves an outside chance. Lose, and it means that Lion City go top of the table at least for a day or so, because Albrecht's Nagata will also be in action. Stipe Plazibat has said it's 6 cup finals. The destiny is in their own hands. If they win all 6 matches, they will go on to win their first SPL title. Hougang also looking for their first one. Remember, they came agonizingly close in 2019. The two teams making their way out. We talked about the crowds, by the way, and a lovely gesture by Lion City Sailors. They have brought in healthcare workers for free today and offered them 15-minute massages as well. I think it's a really, really nice gesture, just to show their gratitude for what has been a very tough 1.5 years. Hougang United have got the better of Lion City Sailors in recent times, including this season. 3-1 defeats. Not often they concede 3 goals in a match, Roshan. And that's got to be in the back of the mind somewhere. We can do this. Even though they're on a 12-match unbeaten run, we've done it before.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure they'll be thinking about that as we run through the match officials. And Mohammad Taufik Tana, assisted by Chan Kwok Wai and Rutran Raj. Lim Kok Heng, the 4th official. I don't envy the job he's going to have on his hands in this game. 4th official having to deal with complaints from the coaches.
It's going to be an intense game. I mean, you were saying free-flowing football on the pitch, but probably very cagey off the side of it.
Clement's already gone over to have a word with the 4th official. Just have a look there, right at the bottom of your picture. I don't know if you spotted that. So he's already gone over to just say, hey, how you going? How you doing? Had your copy ready, or
just reminding him he's going to be around.
He's going to be around, and oh look, you're going to hear a lot from Clement throughout the 90 minutes, I'm sure. It's part and parcel of the game, isn't it?
Laying down the law is the referee, as Roshan mentioned. Mohammad Taufik Tana could have his hands full for this one. Hassan Sani, the Lion City Sailors skipper, up against the captain there of Hougang United, Fabian Kwok.
Yeah, just go back to that point you made earlier about Hougang believing that they can go on and win this again. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you've seen that Lion City Sailors at times, as we have a look at their lineup, there have been instances, maybe early on the season, where they've conceded goals easily through a couple of individual errors.
Yeah, we'll remind you that there are 2 changes to this Lion City Sailors side from the one that beat Tanjong Pagar 2-1 last week, with Tajali Salamat and Song Wei-yung, newly minted Singapore citizen, into the side. Akari Abdullah had a bit of a knock. He is on the bench along with Gabriel Kwak. And Adam Swandi is still missing as he recovers from hamstring injury. Kim Do-hoon has come in, the AFC Champions League winning coach, and he only did that just 8 months ago. It's a coup indeed for Lion City Sailors, and we'll be talking, I'm sure, in the game about the way he has set his team up and the type of training. For Hougang United, just the one change from the side that edged Geylang International last time out, with Anders Aplin returning from suspension. He replaces Nazrul Nazari in defense. Of course, long-term injuries for Idraki Adnan and Maksat Jakibaliev. Clement Chio is not one to hold back, as Roshan mentioned earlier. He could well be featuring in this match at some point. What are your thoughts on those lineups, Roshan?
Yeah, again, when we, as I said in the build-up to this, in our pre-match show, when I looked at the Hougang lineup, I was just trying to figure out what the formation is going to be in this one. Initially, as it starts, it looks like it's going to be a back 4, but we'll see what happens just as the game goes on. It could be a back 5 with a 3 and then a 2 up top in Shawal and Tomoyuki Doi in those two attacking positions there. Perhaps just trying to spring a bit of a surprise on this Lion City Sailors side. But with Lion City Sailors, we also touched on their lineup. The fact that they've got 11 players who've been called up to the recent Singapore squad is incredible. Look, there's not too much I need to say about this LCS team, is there? There's just quality all over the park, and even the young players like Nur Adam Abdullah have been fantastic and been such big contributors to their play this season, especially in recent matches. Although just as I say that, Christian Philippe sneaks in ahead of him to cut that pass out.
I think what they've got, Roshan, is Fabian Kwok, whether he plays, see that foul again on Christian Philippe, he can, if he plays in central midfield, he can drop back, but it looks like he today is going to be part, perhaps we'll see, of that defence. We'll see now, because there's a set piece here, so the big guns have moved further up, the likes of Anders Appelin and Lionel Tan.
We'll just see how this develops, but remind me, Shez, to just touch on that point you mentioned about the setup and the formations.
We need a better free kick than that one. It's bounced off, was a handball on Song Woo-young. It will be a free kick.
As Kaishu Yamazaki just, I think he kicks the surface a little bit before he actually connects with the ball.
Well, we talked about old boys in this one, and Faris Ramli up against his old club. We've got Stipe Plazibat, but also Roshan, Yamazaki had that one season, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
With Lion City Sailors?
Yep. And at times he was deployed in a central defensive role.
Yes.
I don't think we quite saw the best of him. But we
quite
certainly,
like him in midfield.
I prefer him in midfield, and I think he's been a real driving force for Hougang in those central midfield positions. You know, he gets the ball off of the defenders, he tries to drive it through the middle of the park, either by carrying the ball through the lines or pinging out diagonal balls. And those diagonal passes have been an aspect of Hougang's game this season. In terms of trying to beat the press at times, they go a little bit longer. They go into those diagonal spaces in behind the opposition fullbacks.
You know what, Roshan? We had so much to talk about in the build-up to this match. We didn't even get to mention Tomoyuki Doi, who is stepping up here and is the league's top scorer. Will he be the one, or is it Hafiz Sujad? First test for Hassan Sani, who conceded off a free kick last game. But no fears this time.
Wow, decent atmosphere here, you know. Don't know if you got that raw if you're watching back home, but at the ground here, there was actually a really nice roar there from the Lion City Sailors fans. They're quite happy that that went sailing over the bar. But you're right to bring up that point about Tomoyuki Doi, and we didn't really get the time to touch on him. We've got a battle here between two strikers who have just been incredible for their respective sides this season, Doi and Plazibat.
Faris puts the quick early cross in. Now trying to embark on an attack of their own. Tomoyuki Doi. Didn't like the challenge there, the referee from...
Oh, has it gone to...
I was about to say Saifullah with the challenge on Tomoyuki Doi.
Wow, look, I don't see anything wrong with this at all. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. It's a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, two players fighting for the ball in midfield. He's very unfortunate there, Doi.
It looked like Saifullah bounced off Doi on that one.
I was surprised there that he was actually he's given a free kick. I was going to say he should have just let play go on, given the advantage to Hougang, because I thought it was going to be a free kick to Hougang. And
interesting choice there. Noran Abdullah will play on this left-hand side. George Felipe and Haris Harun. Here's Tajali Salamat. Now Nur Adam. Still Nur Adam. Trying to surge forward. A little important touch there from Kishan Philip. A lot of movement here from Lion City Sailors. Fabian Kwok clears. Stipe Plazibat. And across to Tajeli. Here is Faris. Enjoying A resurgence under the new coach. Wins a free kick there.
Hey, that's Faris for you. You know, he gets a little bit of space here to run a defender. Bit of a trick, bit of a step over, makes the connection with the defender there, and he's clever. Goes down to win the free kick. I didn't see much contact initiated by Farhan, to be honest.
Neat footwork there as well from Faris, what he's known for, of course. He's been around forever. 29 years of age.
Yeah.
As the free kick comes in, and that comes off Haris Harun. On that debate, Roshan, do you prefer him in central defence as we look at this free kick?
He's actually been really solid in central defence, and I've spoken about this on a couple of occasions now, about his versatility and the fact that he can be that utility player for Lion City Sailors, can step in and play in midfield, play in the centre of that defence. He's forming a nice little partnership with Josh Felipe. I feel a bit sorry for Amirul Adli, actually, because he's another player who I actually think has done very well this season alongside Josh Felipe. He's lost out his place in the starting 11 recently to Haris Harun in the centre of defence.
The problem is, Roshan, you've got to accommodate a lot of midfielders as well, don't you, in this side? So if you want to get him into it, Haris Harun, probably central defence at the moment. Here is Yamazaki's done well. Just trying to cut inside. George Felipe doesn't get it clear. Hafiz Shujad. Farhan lofts that in, and easy for Hassan Sani. The two Singapore goalkeepers facing each other, of course, tonight. Stipe. Just wide of Faris Rumley.
He took a big knock from Fabian Kwok right in the back there. Probably should have gone down right in front of the referee. Chose to stay on his feet, Stipe Plazibat.
That's for leaving us twice, Stipe.
Yeah. Right, so sorry, so supposed to get back to this this point about the formations that I was going to make, but it's broken down in midfield as Saifullah drives
surging run from Saiful Akbar. Hafiz does his defensive duties there nicely. Kishon Philip. I like the intensity of this match. Here's Yamazaki. Straight to Haris Harun.
Yes, now maybe got a bit of time. It looks like a back four in possession, and then when they're out of possession, you see Kishon Philip just dropping back there, making it part of a five. It's Lionel that's playing on the right side of that defense for the moment, but he's not really that sort of full back that goes out wide onto the right-hand side. That's very much Kishon's role. Once they do lose the ball, Hougang, he's got to make sure he works very hard to just drop off there. He's got a lot of work ahead of him, Kishon Philip.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. But he's had a good season, hasn't he, Kishon Philip? There's Hougang. Not afraid to take the game at the moment to their opponents. Naufal.
And then you got the three in midfield of Naufal, Kaishu, and Hafiz. Two up front, as I mentioned, Shawal and Tomoyuki Doi.
It's interesting to see Hafiz in this rather more central role, Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, if you've followed Hafiz throughout his career, he's again a player who's got that ability to play at left back, play left midfield, can play in the center of the park as well. So again, another player with that versatility certainly helps when you're planning how you want to set your squad up, set your side up against various opposition.
You know, one thing about Saifullah, he's got no fear, hasn't he? He really just loves to drive as well.
They've got a few of those players, you know, that love to do that. One is Noor Adam there, just on that occasion, driving from that left back position is a trademark of his. Kind of a throwback to Roberto Carlos a little bit in terms of the power of his runs, the shape of his lower body.
Well, he's going to
powerful
love that,
trunks,
isn't he?
They're all going to love that. I remember someone calling me out on likening Plazibat to Firmino last time out.
Felipe almost getting into it. And Faris Rumley on the follow-up.
Yeah, forgive my getting hyperbolic a little bit when it comes to these players and the comparisons I'm making.
That's the passion for the Singapore Premier League, which will now end on October 2nd, of course. Has been slightly extended. Michael Pasha there, trying to put a cross in. And that, by the way, will be the same month that Stipe Plazibot will celebrate the birth of his first child. So he would dearly love to have a league trophy to go with that as well.
Well, how about in the local context, since I've been comparing these players to world footballing stars? Noor Adam, the late, great Borhan. If anyone watching out there remembers him.
Yeah.
Incredible left back, powerful down the left-hand side and so strong in the challenge. Noor Adam as well doesn't give. I mean, he gives as good as he gets in those positions as well. Not afraid to get stuck in.
Down the line here to Hafiz Shujat from Kishon Philip. George Felipe read that really well. Kaishu, he's strong, isn't he?
Yeah, very powerful in midfield, Kaishu. And again, on both sides of the game. Attacking front, we've seen his ability to take players on, to dribble it through. And then the defensive side, he comes across at times to initiate the press in those midfield areas.
Farhan, another one actually, Russian, who goes selects to get forward and drive as Kishon. And now fall! Oh, well, just over, but good technique from him.
They just went left to right there. Kishon initially the first one to just try and see if he can have an attempt at goal here from range. And then Naufal, as it drops to him, I think he just couldn't quite, he needed to drop a little bit lower for Naufal to really hit that properly. It's a little bit too high as he connects with it. He connects underneath the ball, that's why he goes sailing over the bar. But Farhan, again, the player, he's just such a quality young player down that left-hand side. Can play on the wing as well, Farhan. And the fact that he's getting so many minutes under his belt, so much game time as a young player, I think it's going to benefit him. Of course, the other side to that is making sure you're managing those workloads, making sure he doesn't burn out early on in his career.
Quick pass there from Yamazaki. You could see the idea from Hafiz Shujat. Naufal didn't make it.
Yeah, good movement in the middle of the park there. Nice rotation of positions, just to find that free man to get on the ball and play it.
Tell you what, Roshan, it's nicely balanced at the moment, this match, isn't it?
Certainly is. We've got Hougang starting at a very good tempo, playing at a nice intensity. We saw this from the Cheetahs against Albirex when they played at Hougang Stadium, where they were leading, went into the halftime break leading by 1-0, and they were incredible in that first half against Albirex Niigata. Play with wonderful intensity, forced lots of mistakes with their pressing, were very quick and direct with the passing of the ball, creating chances. They just weren't able to maintain that intensity in the second half, and that's where they really struggled against Albirex.
Who, of course, as we know, their fitness levels are impressive, aren't they? George Felipe is always going to win that battle against that man there, Shawal Anwar. Song up to Shadan. Here's Faris. Looks across, Shadan. Haikal Pasha. Trying to get that to Noor Adam. Saifullah. Shot is on for Saifullah, and it's straight at Iswan.
Yeah, decent attempt by Saifullah. A lovely bit of skill just to buy himself a bit of space. Opened his body up, turned on the ball, and then got himself that little bit of space there to push away from Kishon Philippe.
Got into the goals, hasn't he, Saifullah?
Yeah, got that curve, but probably ideally from that angle was going to be very difficult to beat Iswan unless you really started it outside of the post and got that swing for it to come back in.
4 goals to his name this season, Saifullah. Something he's added to his rather impressive bow now. Haris Harun. Shadow just a little deeper here. Song Wei-young. This is what he loves to do, take on players. Drive forward. Haikal Pasha on his left-hand side. kept that in. They've dealt with it quite well, haven't they? Deemed a foul on Saifullah.
Yeah, good pressing by Saifullah. Just for the moment, Kaishu was just waiting for the ball to arrive, you know. Fortunately for him, he very late on just had a quick look over his shoulder. Saw Saifullah there and decided to let the ball run across his body. Picked up the free kick. The quality shown by Kaishu Yamazaki there. Very quick reactions just to adjust his body shape. Let the ball come across.
Farhan. Doi looks up. Somehow hold on to the ball for a little longer than he probably would have wanted to. Dispossessed by Saifullah. Here's Song Woo-young. He's got options to his left in particular. Haikal Pasha. Cuts inside. And it comes off Lionel Tan.
Yeah, he should be confident, shouldn't he, Haikal Pasha, for the goal he scored against Tanjung Pagar. Again, it just kind of opened up for him.
I'm waiting for you to get all excited again, Roshan. That was classic last week when he scored that superb goal. Quick cross in from Faris Rumley. Tell you what, this game is being played at a terrific pace at the moment as they try to set Shawal Anwar free, but George Felipe's seen that one. It's back and forth, isn't it?
It's really good tempo to this game.
Noor Adam. Oh, Haikal. Here's Saifullah. Looking smart on the ball at the moment, Lion City Sailors. Stipe with a quick little touch on to Haikal. Still Haikal. Now Faris Rumley. Tajali, he's shaping to shoot.
You immediately just see the reaction of Stipe Plazibat in the box there. Tajali holds his hands up to apologize to his teammate. I think a cross perhaps would have been a better idea. He had time actually to even just take a touch to set himself up. Didn't have to hit that first time. Look at that, he's got plenty of space to actually make a better decision there. He's already made up his mind as the ball's coming in towards him.
Harking back to those days when he was playing for Balestier as the lone forward back then. Another one who can be a little bit versatile.
I think he's a very good player, Tajeli. I really like him, and you mentioned that versatility. He can play in central defense, on at right back, can even push forward into midfield if necessary. Another one of those who's sort of just been getting even more minutes now under Kim Do-hoon, which is really good to see. He's someone who's got the potential to really flourish under the right sort of guidance, and hopefully he gets that from the AFC Champions League winning coach. I'm really envious of these players, you know, getting to work with Kim.
Well, you got to work with the Korean at
completely different levels, Shez.
We'll come back to that.
Completely different levels.
I need to ask you more about that in a while. As Naufal.
Oh, Lee Lim Seng is nowhere near Kim Do-hoon's level of stature.
This was with, of course, Hougang United, the predecessor to Lion City Sailors. Tomoki Doi. Take me through that one, Roshan.
The shot or Lee Lim Seng? Let's leave the past in the past, shall we? But that shot from Tomoki Doi, you know, I mean, he's got those 16 goals, 5 assists this season. I'll come back to that as we just have a look at this cutback from Plazibat onto Saifullah. Just loses his footing.
Also through ball there from Saifullah to Haikal. Just veered away. Noor Adam. Back to Haikal. Seeing a lot of the ball on this left-hand side, isn't he? Stipe Plazibat. Saifullah just waited the second and went for it. He's not afraid to shoot.
No, he's not. And they're creating these nice little opportunities just on the edge of the box there. Lovely little touch by Stipe Plazibat just to set up Saifullah in a bit of space. Lionel's having a word with Kishon here, but I'm not quite sure what Kishon really should be doing there, because he's got Haikal out wide left to keep an eye on, unless he wants him to come into even more of a central position. make sure they pick up the spaces that Saifullah is dropping into.
Hassan Sunny. Too much to do yet. To be fair, is one as well. No big opportunities for either side. That's tested the goalkeeper. Nur Adam. Again, willingness to go forward in every opportunity. Kishon does well. I think you said he's going to have to put in quite the shift today, right?
He's having to work his socks off because off the ball, as I said, he's having to drop off into those defensive positions and help out. And then when they do have possession of the ball, he's expected to push forward and be that option down the right-hand side.
Yeah, they seem to be preferring the left at the moment, Roshan.
Lion City Sailors. Yes, it's an obvious outlet for them very early on in this game. They're getting a bit of joy down this side of the pitch. You just have a look at Saifullah running the game for them in central midfield.
Yeah, we talked about the left. Here it is again on this side with Nur Adam. He's got Haiko Pasha if he wants. Oh, it's a smart turn. Why was that not a foul by Yamazaki? You can hear some of the Lion City fans unhappy with that. That looked a clear foul.
Excellent challenge by Georges Felipe there, though. This has stopped Tomoyuki Doi in his tracks. It looked like a foul to me. Agree with you.
Yeah, Georges Felipe's had a good game so far. Tajeli. Now Faris. They've just started to turn the screws, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Sailors.
After that bright start from Hougang, it's Lion City Sailors now. They've come into a rhythm of their own in possession of the ball. Moving it around. It's nice and slick, very confident in possession and very quick to move it across the pitch as well. Lovely touch into Haikal Pasha.
Here's Stipe Plaziba. Just saw, by the way, Tomoyuki Doi was gesturing to the coaches, his coaches, to get more players down this right-hand side for Hougang, the left for Lion City Sailors. That's where they've been a bit vulnerable. Song Wei-young. Touch on from Saifullah. That's straight back to the grateful arms of Izwan Mahmood.
Well, he said in the build-up to this, Kim Do-hoon, he said that he wasn't too happy with the performance. If you just have a look at this. Nice, intricate build-up on the edge of the box there. Too many Hougang defenders, though, as Pasha almost cuts out that pass from Lionel. But going back to what Kim Do-hoon said in the build-up to this game, talking about how he wasn't too happy with the overall performance against Tanjung Pagar. Result, yes, delighted, but he felt that they could do a lot better in their possession game. Their combination play and things like that, and something that they worked on in training.
That's not a great pass out from Izwan Mahmood. Saifullah cuts it out. Tries to help out there. Hafiz, and that rolls out for a corner. That's a couple of passes out.
Yeah.
Looked a bit dicey.
Feeling a bit of that pressure here, perhaps, Hougang. He's just trying to actually zip it out wide right to Kishon here, but that doesn't get the right angle on his pass.
The crowd asking for a goal. The referee wanting to ensure the ball is in the quadrant, which it is not. Cheekily not. Oh, just about. I tell you what, that is about as close as you can get to the border of that quadrant. Now they've been susceptible on these set pieces, the corners. Hougang, but they've managed to deal with that one. Near post headers, Roshan, that must frustrate a coach when you concede near post headers.
Yeah, and I'm guessing you're referring to some of the corners that they've conceded from this season. And I remember, think back to that game against Albirex, the one that they lost by 4-1, and conceding from those corner routines is really, when you've got an opposition player who's got acres of space in the box to pick out a spot with a header.
Oh, just got a
question to be asked, but Farhan Zulkifli, I think you were going to highlight his run there.
Absolutely fantastic from him. Here's Kishon. I tell you what, every one of the under-23 players, just absolutely jinxed that. I was going to say they've all been really good today. Kishon Phillips been good apart from that pass. Look, the fans are having fun, Roshan. It's good to have Up to 1,000 fans again.
It's a good crowd, you know. I'm just looking to the left of our commentary position here as well.
Do you know what?
It's
so nice to see the upper tiers.
The upper tiers are filled with fans, with supporters on both sides.
Yep.
I think that would be the 3rd floor
Yep.
at Jalan Besar.
Yeah, fantastic to see. As we get back to some semblance of normality.
There's a nice atmosphere as well. As we go for that cooling break, there's a nice atmosphere. You know, it's not just people sitting in the stands and just watching. They're participating in the game.
There you go. There's a nice shot panning across the stadium. As again, I mentioned a lovely gesture from Lion City Sailors. There's actually more fans upstairs, I think, today, which is normally the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's nice and crowded up here where we are. But they've brought in healthcare workers in for free.
That was a nice touch as well.
It was.
Brilliant touch, yeah.
Maybe you and I can pass off as one, get a free massage later.
Oh, no, thank you, Shez. I'm okay. I'm all right.
All hands on deck, as you can see. Lion City Sailors fans are expecting a win, but it is anything but straightforward against Hougang United, who've stood toe-to-toe with them, Roshan, and perhaps only the last 7-8 minutes that Lion City have seen a lot more of the ball.
Yes. And I think, you know, started to, again, as I said, just get into that flow, that passing flow of the game. We're seeing some of the things that they've worked on in training come together, especially down this left-hand side. They seem to be overloading Hougang in these areas. You got Saifullah coming across to link up with Pasha and Nur Adam in those positions. At times it's 3 against 2. Still hasn't come really too much in terms of dangerous opportunities created. But look, plenty of time still to go. And it's just dominating the game with the ball at the moment. And dominating the spaces as well, because they're not allowing Hougang to even transition or counter-attack against them. They're very quick to close down once they do lose the ball.
Nur Adam. Here's Saifullah. Back to Tajeli. Try to get that up to Faris.
You know, you mentioned the point about under-23 players in the league, and it's something that when I look across the league, Skim Dohun there, I look at the quality of some of the young players coming through. Very excited for the future of the national team, because I look at the young Lions, for example, and did the game the last time out. You got Jacob Mahler, who's been very strong in central defense. I think of Joel Chew in those positions. I think of Hami Shaheen, wonderful technical quality with the ball. You know, small players, yes, but brilliant with the ball at their feet.
Let's talk about the youngster, Ong Yuen.
Ong Yuen at Elbrecht, who's playing well. I mean, Ilhan Fandi in those attacking positions. Kairin Nadim, another one. Look, there's just so many of them coming through. We got Saifullah here, Nur Adam at left back.
Paco Pasha.
Yeah.
Another one who's wanting the ball. But here's Song Wei-young. Oh, that was an all-important touch, wasn't it, from Hafiz Shujad.
Several others across the league. Forgive me, there's too many to mention. I mean, Tanjung Pagar United's Fatullah, 18 years of age, and he's just an absolute powerhouse in midfield for the Jaguars. Again, another mistake here.
Yeah, and it was Shadan who did well there. Here's Song. Don't forget, Roshan, of course, the under-22s are going to be in action. Singapore hosting that tournament, the qualifiers for the AFC Under-23 Championships. Here's Haikal. Still Haikal. Kishon has done well to track him. He'd much rather be further up the field, wouldn't he?
I mean, having to really work very hard here and in that defensive front. It was his header initially that made its way into the feet of Haikal Pasha. He did well to track back and block that attempted cutback.
Here's Shadan. Now Saifullah. Shawal, just a little bit of a heavy touch, wasn't it? Harris looking for George Felipe. It's Lionel Town with a strong header away. But they're winning the ball back, aren't they?
Excellent.
Lion City Sailors.
The way they're sort of counter-pressing here. The moment they lose it, they're very quick to close down and winning back high up the pitch. Hougang is unable to get out of their own defensive zone.
That is an ambitious effort from Shadan Sulaiman.
Playing at a very good intensity. And that's a shot from range from Shadan. They're very deep here. Hougang can just see the bodies in the box there, and just as they drop off that deep into their own penalty box, the space will open up for some of these midfielders here to have a shot at goal. Again, it's such good work by Song.
Look at that, the work rate, Roshan. This is exactly what Kim Do-hoon has been inculcating in his team, isn't he?
Yeah. And, you know, players used people used to go on about, you know, Lee saying back in the day, in fitness and fitness and fitness. A player's job is to be fit. And that's not the issue, but it's not fitness about running around the track. That's ridiculous. That's
short bursts,
football
right?
from the 60s or doing box-to-box runs without the football. Kim Do-hoon, from what I've heard, as we just have a look here, strong challenge, and it's a clean challenge. Good hard work by Song Woo-young. From what I hear, it's fitness work, but it's football-related fitness, and that's what it should be.
Yeah, Stipe Plazibat was talking about the sessions, and he was saying how intense they are. He's put a premium on the fitness levels, but also, Roshan, apart from just that, it's also the tactical nous.
Yeah.
He wants the fluidity. We talked about that flexibility.
Yeah.
Stipe to drop back. We haven't seen too much of that necessarily today.
You can work tactics and fitness at the same time. That's the thing, and that's
They're
what
not mutually exclusive.
And that's the way it should be. You know, it's football-related fitness. You're not training to go and run in the Olympics. You're training to play a football match. You know, short, sharp bursts, repeated runs, that intensity of being able to go, rest, go again. And you know, it's also the big thing about football as well for management. It's that man management aspect. It's being able to relate to your players.
Yep.
And that's again one of the things that I've heard is what Kim Do-hoon has brought. You know, he's a good man manager, and when you're a good man manager, you can demand more from your players because there's that element, there's that feeling, there's that trust between yourself and the players you're working with. And if players believe that you want what's best for them, that you care for them, they're going to give you their all because it's all about improving them. And if they believe you're going to improve them, they're going to work the socks off for you.
Some references there to Roshan's
former
pro career.
It's football in general. I just think, you know, just across the board, that should apply.
And when he was with Home United, of course, the predecessor to Lion City Sailors, one member of this team was there with him in his very first year in Singapore, and that was a certain Song Woo-young.
Well, actually, I'm going to correct you there.
Okay.
Hafiz Noor was in that squad as well at Home United.
Well, I'm talking about starting 11.
Oh, starting 11, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, all right.
Hafiz Noor got bombed out by Lee Lim Seng, and look where he is now.
Yep.
Playing for Singapore.
No foul, by the way, on Shawal Anwar. Oh, and there's a couple more rolls there. Thank you.
Yeah, he's going to keep rolling until a card comes out, I think. That's ridiculous. I mean, I know it's a bad challenge. I know it's a late challenge, but...
it's reminiscent of his countryman, Neymar.
If you watch... I'm not saying he's not hurt. He certainly felt the contact.
Yeah.
But if you watch football players across the world, whenever there's a serious injury, there's no rolling around.
The more rolls, the less
more
injured
rolls,
you are.
the probably less injured you are.
2, 3.
I mean, it's a nasty one. Don't get me wrong, it's a nasty one. But
6.
it's a bit of an
7.
overreaction. I'm surprised that he's actually gotten away with that challenge without a booking.
8 rolls, Roshan. 8 rolls.
He's escaped the booking, hasn't he? Or is he coming back to have a word with the...
Is he going to reach into his pocket? Yes,
yeah, it looks like he is. Because that was a dangerous challenge.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to be fair. It wasn't a good challenge. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Sometimes the rolls, the effect is to also try and accentuate how bad it is to perhaps...
Yeah, in local context, tamba, right?
And the resulting consequence is a yellow card for the aforementioned tamba. Listen, 10 minutes before halftime, 10 minutes or so with a little bit of time added on. No goals so far, Roshan. Lots of possession with Lion City Sailors. Have they created enough goal-scoring opportunities for you?
Yeah, that I know what you're getting at. Again, high quality chances. Haven't quite been there just yet. But signs are very encouraging.
Song Wei-Yong stands the ball up. Hafiz does well. Now Shawal. Oh, it's behind Yamazaki. That's given away to Sharan Sulaiman. He's got Faris to his right. Opts to go left to Saifullah. Now Haikal. Nur Adam. Not really going forward at the moment. It's sideways, waiting patiently. Tajeli. And now Faris. Oh, it's a nice run there from Saifullah into the box. They're asking for a handball. Half-hearted appeals. He was a little slow, wasn't he, Kishon? They've got away with it.
Yeah, again, you look at just how Hougang are unable to hang on to these second balls, how quickly they're getting closed down. The moment they think they've won possession back, the moment they think there's a pass out, suddenly that second wave comes from the Lion City Sailors, second wave of that pressing. And we just saw that with Tajeli on the right-hand side there. Good compactness in this team.
It's interesting, Roshan, that Kishon has moved to the left-hand side for a bit, hasn't he?
Just swapped around, haven't they? And Shawal's come out onto this right-hand side. Hasn't been involved at all.
He's the one you want to see as much on the ball on, don't you? Get it up to Tomiki Doi, even go for goal himself.
Well, they haven't even... Well, Doi had that one shot from range that went wide.
And that free kick, and that's it.
And that free kick, yeah, which went sailing over the bar. And I don't remember him or any of their attacking players really being involved in those attacking phases of the game. Hafiz has actually come out to play as on the right side of that back five.
Yeah, there's certainly packing that defence.
It's now gone into a proper back five here. Correct. With Kishon just going onto that left there.
Yeah, it appears that Hafiz, because of what we were saying earlier, weren't we, Roshan, on this left-hand side, they were...
Yeah, causing lots of issues down this side. Yeah,
yeah,
they've adjusted that by bringing Hafiz across here. Moving Kishon onto the left-hand side. I think Kishon would appreciate that as well.
Yeah. He's only got Faris Rami to deal with now. Here's Faris. Lovely work from him. Saifullah couldn't keep that down. Nice touch on there from Tomiki Doi. Good work here from Shawal. He's trying to get it up to Tomiki Doi. He kind of seemed devoid of any other sort of options.
Yep. That was really smart play by Tomiki Doi, and that was so important for him to actually make sure he was able to get that touch and that pass out into Shawal Awan on that right-hand side. Gives the Hougang defence an opportunity for a breather here.
It's a throw-in from Hafiz. Now foul, trying to make a nuisance of himself. That, I think, is the first time we've seen them in the final third for quite a while, Roshan. And it's very different, isn't it, when they're going forward, as opposed to Lion City Sailors.
Yeah, with the Lion City Sailors, you can see that when they move forward with the ball, there's purpose in that play, and there's an identity behind it. There's a clear idea of what they're trying to do. But just there, as you see Hougang, as they got forward, limited in terms of the opportunities to create chances, a little bit devoid of ideas in those situations.
Nicely read by Anders Zaplin, but it falls to Tajeli. Here's Harris. Spreads it out towards Haikal. Lovely work there. Foul by Hafiz, free kick. Well, he was brought in to keep a closer eye on the likes of Haikal and Nur Adam.
Nice touch by Haikal, just to invite that challenge. As the ball comes into the box there, goes over the head of Song Wei-Yong.
Song can't quite keep it alive. Well, Roshan, Song, we just mentioned he's the new Singapore citizen. What will he bring to the national team?
I think good quality in midfield. Another option for Tatsuma Yoshida in that area of the pitch. A player who's got that energy and work rate. A player who's ability to carry the ball through those lines in midfield. And you know, he does carry a goal threat. Maybe not this season, but in season gone by, he's shown that he's very useful in that attacking midfield role. As Doi does very well to just hang on to it and then find a switch out to Shawal.
Yeah, couldn't quite trap it. Now Tajeli. A little slip there from Farhan. Faris. Well read there from Lionel Tan. And Russian, I think they've been actually fairly solid at the back, haven't they, Hougang?
Yeah, I mean, they've got plenty of bodies in there. They've got, you know, they've packed that defense. They've dropped off very deep. There's always, can I call it black shirts or black and orange shirts in front of Lion City Sailors attackers.
Here's Saifullah.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's come off Song's arm.
He's
just in the
asking
build-up there.
question.
Yeah. It's just come off his arm. And you just have a look here at this touch. And that touch on the arm just takes him away from Fabian. Referee decides to give the handball for that.
It's in a good, very good position there, wasn't he, Saifullah? But couldn't get out from his feet anyway.
The worrying thing is this.
Yeah.
The turnovers in possession here. It constantly puts them under pressure.
Dangerous areas as well.
Yeah.
Stipe Plazibat. Faris Ramli. Here's Shadan Sulaiman up to Tajeli Salamat. Tajeli puts the cross in. Hafiz heads it away. It's unrelenting at the moment, isn't it, from Lion City Sailors. There's Anders Aplin. Rear guard at the moment from Hougang, who've defended stoutly.
Well, again, it's good that you're giving them credit for that defensive part of the game, because there are a few ways you can look at it when you're analyzing it, right? Incredible display by that defensive line, limiting the Lion City Sailors in terms of that high-quality chance creation.
There's a sea of black and red. There's a shot. It's a first shot in a while from Stipe Plazibat, for anyone, for that matter.
And then on the other side of the game, when you look at them in possession of the ball and giving away careless passes to the opposition, putting themselves under pressure, not really creating any opportunities of their own. And that's the aspect that's a little bit worrying.
Well, they're also just creeping deeper and deeper,
yeah.
aren't they? Headed on by Shawal. He's not going to get to that one, is he, Naufal? Yamazaki has got to assert himself in midfield. Here's Hafiz. Naufal, this is around the time where it starts to break down. Referee decided to give it as a free kick. Quickly taken by Naufal. Shawal trying to make it difficult.
Yeah, I don't think coaching staff were too happy with the fact that Naufal took that free kick quickly. I mean, he spotted the run of Tomoyuki Doi and perhaps was influenced by that.
Up towards Song Wei-young. Little feint there from Stipe Plazibat. Tajeli. Well, Russian, we are fast approaching half-time into the 45th minute here, and decent ball in, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just that contact between Plazibat and Fabian Kwok.
You know, when we when we look at these benches, I'm sniggering away because it's just an incredible bench, isn't it? When you look at the kind of talent that they can bring on.
Yep.
Lion City Sailors I'm referring to, of course. There's George Felipe. Deals with that fairly comfortably.
Well, you know what? Hougang United have got
But they've got
some good options
Shafiq
as
Ghani.
well.
They've got Gilberto Fortunato.
Nazrul Nazari, you can play as an attacking
Yep.
wing back or attacking full back down his right-hand side.
Afik Noor I like as well.
Yeah, in
Still
central
forward.
midfield.
Yep.
Just got in a call-up to the Singapore national squad as well, so congratulations to him on that.
Oh, we're going to get 2 minutes of added time. Well, that's frustrating, isn't it? Just had their attacks peter out quite quickly when they get into that final third, Hougang. Here's Harris.
The fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time.
Lionel turn. Offside on Stipe Plazibat. Well, that has flown by, I think, Roshan.
Yeah, it's been played at a really good intensity, this game. And that's been forced upon Hougang by the tempo that Lion City Sailors are playing this game at. And you've got to react to what the opposition are doing. If they're playing at a quick tempo, you've got to try and meet that. You've got to try and match that intensity. Oh, that's, again, one of his trademark
Thumping ones.
thundering headers by Jorge Felipe.
Just about 30-odd seconds. We've got 2 balls on the pitch. Maybe time to squeeze one more attack, perhaps, for Hougang. Here's Hafiz. They're quite happy to get themselves to the break without conceding here. Hougang United, in fact, they have a free kick right at the end of the first 45.
Yeah, I mean, just see Shawal taking a contact from Saifullah. Just a smart touch away from him.
This is where you pack in your big guns. Set pieces could be the way forward for Hougang United. Referee wants them to get on with it. Fabian. And that could well be the last bit of play here.
Oh, sorry, oh, carry on. Half-time whistle.
So, no, Russian, you have your moment.
No, it's just you had to nudge me there on the replay because I was actually in my mind. I was already thinking of what we're going to expect in the second half and what kind of changes the coach is going to make at the halftime break. And in terms of that, on that defensive front, you know, I guess they'll be satisfied with the fact that Lion City Sailors haven't created anything dangerous of note in the first half. But the worrying side is that fact that you're always giving possession back. You're always putting yourself under pressure. So that's something for them to work on during halftime. And I'm sure we'll see changes coming up into the second half as well. For the Lion City Sailors, for me, the message is more patience, because I think the opportunity will come through.
So at Jalan Besar Stadium, no goals so far in the first half into the break, and it's Lion City Sailors 0, Hougang United 0. Welcome back to Jalan Besar Stadium. It's halftime here in the AIA Singapore Premier League match between Lion City Sailors and Hougang United. No goals so far, Roshan.
Yeah.
But it's been dominated by Lion City Sailors.
It has. It has been dominated by the Lion City Sailors. They have created opportunities, not clear-cut opportunities, but you can expect that against a side like Hougang here, who are sitting as deep as they possibly can. You just see Saifullah there with a shot from the edge of the area. He was able to just work a little bit of space down that side of the pitch. Couldn't quite get it around his one in goal.
This left-hand side, they saw a lot of the ball in there. Noor Adam, Saifullah, and of course Haikal Pasha.
They were sort of getting additional numbers into those positions. As I said during the commentary at half-time, at times they were trying to overload them down that left-hand side. Saifullah drifting across to link up with Haikal, Stipe, Plazibat at times as well, pushing into those areas. They did really well just to create a little bit of space for that shot from Saifullah, which unfortunately went wide. But again, you see here another example of them working down the left. Haikal on this occasion, he gets outnumbered. It's a 3-on-1. Gives it back to Shahdan Sulaiman, who has that space. Just as that Hougang defense is dropping deeper and deeper and deeper, you're going to see opportunities for shots from range. And Shahdan decided to have a go at goal from distance on that occasion, which just went wide.
Tell you what, if these are the kind of chances they had, and we're going to see one here from Stipe Plazibat, really the last chance that LC has had in the first half.
Yeah, it's good approach play. They've had to be patient at times with that. And again, it's just because of how deep, and they've got that almost at 5 across the back, and they're dropping off, and then that 4 in front of them. It's very difficult to try and break teams like that down in those positions.
Well, we look at the stats, and of course dominated by Lion City Sailors in terms of shots. Only 1 on target, and that was very straightforward for Iswan Mahmud. And I suppose Hougang United, looking at this, Roshan, won't be too bothered, especially if the best chances that LCS have had are all from range.
Yeah.
But you've made the point about playing out from the back, and that's been a problem.
Yeah, no, it's the play in possession. They don't need to play it out from the back. They can hit it longer into the channels, but they need to be able to keep the ball and have enough quality to create attacking opportunities of their own. Otherwise, you're just constantly under this intense pressure all the time. Yes, if you're doing analysis on the defensive front, you look at it and you think, look, we didn't let them create any dangerous opportunities. Guys, well done, fantastic. Now we got to work on that other aspect, which is when we have the ball, we need to make sure we keep it. Get it into Doi, Kai Shu, I want you to show a little bit more for it. Start driving the game for us. I think we're going to see changes in the second half. We'll get more senior players on, I think, and a bit more quality to help Hougang in those attacking positions.
What is that X factor needed for Lion City Sailors? Remember, they win tonight, they go top of the table. Diego Lopez, is he the key?
Look, he could very well be the key here. That player, you talk about X factor, he's a player like that can bring that quality, that game-changing quality in tight spaces, the ability to feed it into him, take defenders on, create an opportunity for Lion City Sailors. Against a deep defending side like that, that's a great shout. That's what I'd be looking at.
Look forward to seeing what happens next, what the coaches will do. We're going to take a short break. When we return, it'll be the second half of this match. Lion City Sailors up against Hougang United. We are back at Jalan Besar Stadium, half-time here in this AIA Singapore Premier League match between Lion City Sailors and Hougang United. No goals so far, but it has not been short of action, Roshan.
No, it hasn't. It's been played at a very good intensity, this game, I have to say. And it's Lion City Sailors who are trying to force the issue here, being the side that's dominating possession of the ball, looking to be the side that creates chances, creates opportunities. And so they've really upped the intensity of the match, and it's something that Hougang United have had to respond to. On the defensive front, as we touched on at halftime, they've done very well on that side of the game. On the other side of the game, when you think about them in attack, in possession, they haven't created anything of note at all in the opening 45. And the ball retention is going to be so important. And I think it's not going to surprise me to see people like Afiq Noor coming into the lineup, especially in midfield. It gives them a player who's got a bit more ability to hang on to it in the center of midfield, work hard defensively for them. I wouldn't mind seeing Nazrul Nazari as well come on for them down that right-hand side.
With the pace of his, right?
The pace and that experience and that quality that he has in those positions. So, again, it wouldn't surprise me to see those players coming on to try and make a difference for Hougang in the second half.
While I said plenty of action, not plenty of goal-scoring opportunities, good ones. And that would, I suppose, be the one thing that LCS, that's the finishing touch they need, isn't it, for Sailors?
Yeah. I think when you go into halftime in these situations, you keep your composure as a coach, because you'd be happy with the general approach play. And look, there's still 45 minutes of the game to go. And what Lion City Sailors have done very well to do is limit counter-attacking opportunities for Hougang United. Hougang, if they're relying on those transitional moments, they haven't had it at all. And that's because of that counter-pressing. And to simplify it, just winning the ball back immediately after you lose it. And that's been very good from the Lion City Sailors. So all those aspects have been very encouraging for them. The fact that they're controlling the tempo of the game, the fact that they're controlling the counter-attacking moments, just now being patient, finding more of that penetration, maybe taking a few more risks in certain areas to play that riskier pass, or to have a player maybe take on a defender to break through and break in behind. I'm sure they'll be looking to make a change as well. You mentioned Diego Lopez, but it looks like it's going to be Gabriel Kwak here, who might be coming on at halftime, and he'll be replacing Haikal Pasha.
Yeah, the Haikal actually had a really good first half, didn't he? But it's Gabriel Kwak experience that comes on. Not a bad player to be able to bring on at halftime.
Yeah, he's got 9 goals already this season, doesn't he, Gabriel? 3 assists for himself as well. And with him coming on now, it also gives them that opportunity to, they can keep these players on their respective flanks. Faris was on the right-hand side. Haikal was on the left-hand side. You can have Gabriel still sticking to the touchline on the left. But I suspect they'll go with those inverted wingers now, and they'll swap it around. They put Gabriel on the right so he can cut in onto his left foot, and then they'll leave Faris on the left-hand side so that he can cut in on his right. And then that also allows the likes of Noor Adam and Tajeli to provide that width from those fullback positions.
I can tell you there are also 2 changes for Hougang. And Naufal is off. Nazrul Nazari something that we were just discussing prior. Afiq Noor is also on. And I think that's for Kishon Philip. So certainly going with a bit more experience now.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a change in shape as well. It looks like for the moment, it looks like it's going to be a back 4, and I'm glad they're going with this. I think this gives them an opportunity to have players in more advanced positions to put a bit more pressure on that Lion City Sailors defense. And for those players in defense, when they do win it, they can ping it forward. Got a few more options in those attacking areas now. This looks like Fabian Lionel just sitting in the center of defense. Anders has pushed out onto this left-hand side. Farhan Zulkifli, for the moment anyway, from this kickoff, has moved out wide left here.
Yeah, let's see how they do in the second half. Hougang United certainly want to be a bit more expansive in their play if they want to get something out of this. Remember, with the table the way it is, really nothing else other than a win today against one of their title rivals will do. There's Afik Noor's first contribution. That's a rather wild swing of the ball from Tajeli. Faris is solid. Afik tries to let one go there. Here's Anders Applin. Gabriel Quack's first touch. Nothing wrong with that. Hafiz Sujad goes in hard on Tajeli Salamat, but that seemed okay.
Yeah, I think he just connects with the underside of Hafiz's boot here, but there was nothing wrong with this challenge. I don't think anyway. Both players going in. He's connecting with the studs. A bit of a painful one from Tajeli. Grateful that he doesn't go rolling over 5 or 6 times.
Here's Gabriel Quack. I don't know what you're referring to, Roshan. Still Gabriel. Well, he kind of threw himself into that one, didn't he? On Afik Noor. The referee's not having any of it. Yamazaki. Up to Farhan. He's trying to get that through to Tomoyuki Doi.
Yeah, they started off the first half at a very good tempo, Hougang, didn't they? Before retreating into that shell, and forced back. And start of the second half, they're looking good as well. I like this setup a lot better. You've got Shawal hugging the touchline on that right-hand side. You've got Farhan here, 2 very pacey wingers, finding space in these wider positions where they can come out and receive.
Here's Hafiz. Now Doi. That's great work, isn't it, from Saifullah. Just not letting up.
Now, when you got those wingers hugging touchline as well, it just helps to stretch out the Lion City Sailors' defense. Gives them additional questions to answer.
Shadan clears up to Song Wei-young. The clock is at hand. Just the one change for Lion City Sailors at half-time. 2 for Hougang. As Roshan mentioned, they've changed it up a little bit as well. George Felipe. Some work to do here for Faris Ramli.
It does look like a 4-1-4-1 from Hougang off the ball, out of possession. Becomes a kind of a 4-3-3 when they do have it.
He was a virtual passenger, wasn't he, for most of that first half. Hassan Sani. Norada. Lovely ball down the line to Faris Ramli. Faris looks up, edge of the area for Saifullah. Now Gabriel. Gabriel Quack lets fly. First chance of the second half.
Yeah, the key moment in that move was that bad touch by Saifullah here on the edge of the box. That's a key moment there. The moment it goes behind him, momentum of the move dies. You give Hougang the opportunity to get bodies around the ball there, and it's very difficult for Gabriel to really try and get the one on target. You can see Fabian Kwok closing down that shooting angle very well. And the ways Hougang has set up here, they're not sitting as deep as they were in that first half. They opened up, they're trying to do something in attack of their own, and that could make it a much more interesting, a much more open game for the rest of us. And that could help the Lion City Sailors along the way as well.
Well, they've started both halves pretty well, haven't they, Hougang? It's about 15, 20 minutes in that they just started to go into a shell. And that coincided, of course, with Lion City Sailors asserting themselves more. In by Yamazaki, free header! Oh, they've got the goal! Anders Applin nods in. And it's Hougang who stunningly have the lead here.
Well, how about that? We spoke about defending at set pieces, at corners, at free kicks. Oof.
Boy.
Is he just
Are we both going
offside
all
there?
the same thing?
Yeah, I think so. Is he just leaning offside there as the ball comes in? Doesn't matter anyway. Flag stays down. No VAR here. Nothing to be concerned about. He's got to take that opportunity, and he does that very well, Anders.
Well, that, I tell you what, is not something we saw coming at the start of the second half. That's superb as far as Hougang are concerned. And I tell you what, from a neutral point of view, Roshan, this is probably what you want now, because
Exactly, absolutely.
Lion City Sailors are going to come really hard at them. Now, was that a foul by Saifullah on Yamazaki? He looked expectantly at the referee, and there's a bit of afters between the two of them. Yamazaki frustrated. Love that look.
Yep, love it. Me?
Who else could you be pointing to?
Considering that he was the only one within touching distance of Saifullah.
He was irritated, wasn't he? He didn't get the foul earlier. He got the free kick.
It's well read by Fabian Kwok. Such a different looking Hougang United side now here in the second half.
Absolutely. Shadan. Tell you what, Albirex Nagata will be looking on this game with great anticipation, and that is exactly the result they would have wanted. A Hougang goal to put pressure on Lion City Sailors. Tajeli. Out to Gabriel Kwak. Shadan. Now they've got a lot of bodies in front of them. Lionel Tan. Saifullah. Gabriel. And he's got Fabian Kwok in front of him. Nur Adam. There's a lot of discussion going on, by the way, in the LCS area. And I think we're going to probably see a change because of that goal. We thought Diego Lopez would be the first to come on. It was Gabriel Kwak. Let's see if there's a second change to be made. Fabian Kwok. Oh, and it's Tomoki Doi. He's seen the keeper well off his line. It is well over the goal.
It's all right. Nice idea by Tomoyuki Doi. Worth having a go from there. Picked it on a bit of space, got his head up. Saw the goalkeeper was off his line, and hey, why not?
Well, that would have been remarkable in a number of ways had that gone in.
I don't think Song has actually had the best of games so far. You know, he's lost possession now 3 times in a row here. He's turned it over to that Hougang midfield.
It's interesting, Roshan, because he's just not had many starts, has he?
No, again, yes, it's right to point that out. That the fact that he's not gotten as many minutes as I think he would have liked.
I think this is only his 4th start this season. Incredible. It'd be interesting to see what Hougang sort of do from here, Roshan, because the obvious thing, of course, would be to sit back, defend this lead. But
no, they can't.
They're not, are they?
And you can't do that now. And you've got the players that you have on board here to cause issues in these attacking positions. You've got to use those opportunities, and this is going to help them in the sense of that that counter-attacking game that I was talking about. Now that the Sailors have to open up here and chase this this goal.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not really too much for me to say there. It's a clear foul, isn't it? Nazrul on the back of Faris Ramli.
Faris just seems happier on that side, on the left. Here's Song. Roshan talking about losing possession. Diego Lopez, the $3 million man, is about to come on here.
Yeah, and it's
Song, as
yeah.
you mentioned.
Yeah, I don't think he's been very effective, Song, in this game. Not his best. Diego Lopez coming on.
Well, it would have been quite a story to cap off a special week for Song Wei-yong to get a goal just after he's become a Singapore citizen. It was all over the press about a week ago, but it's not to be. There's another man who's been dominating the headlines this year in Diego Lopez. Roshan, what do you like about him?
Well, you see his quality come through. It's quite obvious when you see him play. And on the individual front, on the ball, there's absolutely no issue. He's a joy to watch. He's got the ability to create a little bit of magic, create chances out of nothing for his side. You just wonder if longer term he's the kind of player in terms of that team structure that Kim Do-hoon is looking at, whether he sort of fits in overall with what he's trying to build. The difficulty is that, you know, if you sign someone for $3 million on what I think is a long-term contract, if I'm not mistaken, then you've got to find a way to use him or move him on for a transfer fee somewhere, if he's not part of your longer-term plans and in terms of what you're looking for in terms of a foreign player.
Well, at the moment, you'd have to say that Lion City Sailors are in pole position for the AFC Champions League next year. We've seen what's happened with Tampines Rovers this year and how they really struggled. And I'm sure Lion City Sailors will have taken a lot of notes from that. And they want to avoid the same thing happening to them next year.
There's a slot for an additional foreign player that's opened up now as well.
Exactly, with Song's citizenship coming through. That'd be very useful, wouldn't it, for next year? Here's Gabriel Kwak. Swings that in, the far post. And no one on the end of that from Diego Lopez. Seemed in two minds, Roshan?
Yeah, to be honest, if you've seen Diego Lopez and you've watched him in the Portuguese league, this is not one of his strengths. He's not good in the air aerially, and it's a difficult angle as well for him to get his header really on target and trouble the goalkeeper. I think that's what he's trying to do. When I look at his body shape as he approaches the ball, as he makes contact with the cross that comes in, I think he's actually trying to head it towards goal rather than looking for a supporting run. Just doesn't quite come off the right part of his forehead there.
A little bit late from Stipe Plasiban and Fabian Kwok. But I'm sure that's not going to upset Kim Do-hoon. He wants to see his players pressing like that, doesn't he?
Yeah, still maintain those intensity levels. Try and keep up the tempo.
Well, this really does make things interesting, doesn't it? More than half an hour to go in this match. Hougang United have that crucial lead.
Well, Albirex, if they're watching on, will be hoping that Hougang can hang on to this.
Remember, it is in Lion City Sailors' hands, and they still, Roshan, have to play Albrecht Nagata. Yeah. So that, you know, it's just a lovely story to this, isn't it? A lovely way to end this season. Could come down to the wire. Nur Adam. Good touch. Oh, look at where Jose Felipe is.
Yeah, he set himself up there for the initial free kick. He's looking to make a nuisance of himself. They can get good delivery here. He's always going to be a threat in the box, just because of how dominant he is in the air.
Credit to Fabian Kwok for being in the way, blocking that. It's Haris Harun, and his header is wide.
Yeah, I think just a reminder from Clement on the touchline there to wake up, tighten up. You just see Haris again, just with a bit of free space to run onto that header actually. Both Afik and Fabian kind of looking at each other. Both Afik and Fabian looking at each other, thinking, well, who's supposed to pick him up?
double the number of shots, Lion City Sailors. But they have not at all tested is one. Here's Gabriel Kwak. Now Saifullah, quick pass to Stipe Plazibat. Harris. Tajeli tries to send it in. Easy for Lionel Tan. Tomoyuki Doi trying to shrug off the attentions of Shadan.
Yeah, it's good play by Tomoyuki Doi. Good centre forward play, just to initially try to hold it up for your side. If you can't, then make sure just retain possession by winning a free kick if you can there. Give a bit of a breather to that defense. But here Shawal's got space to attack down his right-hand side.
It's a searching ball right across that 6-yard box. Doi can't get to it. They've asked for a corner. He's not very happy, Farhan.
That's good work. Again, he's just hugging the touchline, so he's got that little bit of space to work with. Zip across into a pretty dangerous area of the box. It's a bit too much on that for Tomoyuki Doi. As you can see, he's trying to accelerate towards it. It's too much on the cross.
Would you want to see Shawal take on his man more in that kind of situation?
No, I think it's fine what he's done,
good,
because it's an early cross. He's got space to swing it into the box there. Why not in that area?
Shawal trying to be a little too cute, loses the ball. Here's Saifullah. And now Faris. Still Faris. Bit of a heavy ball towards Saifullah. Straightforward, isn't it? Here's one.
Yeah, I think Diego Lopez wanted the ball from Faris. Instead decided to have a run on his own there. So you see Diego Lopez in that little bit of space. Wants to receive it in those tight spaces, doesn't he? He's not afraid to get it in those areas. Has complete faith in his ability on the ball.
Not on there.
Sorry, Shez doesn't quite get it at times. It's not quite read by his teammates in certain situations.
Here he is, Diego Lopez. He wants the ball. He's one of those kind of players, isn't he? Wants it as much as possible. Plazibat will not get there. Russia, they're marrying the defensive solidity this time with a bit more attacking now, aren't they, Hougang?
Yeah, the difference is now in the second half, at least when they win the ball, they've got opportunities to go and hurt the Lion City Sailors.
And they're not giving it away.
No,
like
they're not giving it away. They're hanging on to it. The chances for them to get forward. And here you go. It's beautiful. Just hanging on to it. Wonderful work by Kaishu Yamazaki as well there, just to carry it forward in midfield.
I tell you what, Roshan, if you were doing some analysis, that would be probably one of the moves you'd pick out, wouldn't it, from this second half, and how they've reorganized themselves. Hougang.
Yeah, how they've changed the shape, how they're stretching Lion City Sailors with those wingers hugging the touchline. Left-hand side here, it's Farhan. On the right-hand side is Shawal. It's much better formation that suits them in that sense. It's something they're more familiar with in their back four, but this is where
Lopez,
they can
what
be.
a ball that is out to Faris. Looks up, back to Lopez, and straight at is one.
That's the moment. Those are the moments. Because they're
stretched.
opening up a little bit themselves as well, the Cheetahs. Just when they lose the ball in those situations, there's space now. There's more space now for the Lion City Sailors on their own counter-attacking transitions. They cut back into Diego Lopez. It's enough drive towards goal, but here's one, had it well covered.
Here's Shawal.
Good challenge by Noradam. Just made sure he tracked the run of Shawal into those central positions. Picked the right timing to put his foot in and win the ball.
Bit of space here for Shadan. Looks up for his options. Finds Diego Lopez. Faris on that left-hand side. We're seeing a lot more of the ball in the second half. Once she's changed ends, he's going for goal. More long-range efforts, more off target.
We're going to see lots of shots on the post-match stats, but again, it's chance quality that I'm more concerned with. Those shots from range, not real high-quality opportunities.
He's had a very comfortable game actually so far. He's won.
Yeah, he's had a couple of saves to make in this second half, but they've been relatively straightforward saves, straight down the middle for him. Nothing too troubling. On the other hand, I don't remember Hassan having to make any save, but the balls ended up in the back of the net.
Often happens, doesn't it, when you see this? There's football. Here's George Felipe. Now Shadan. Out wide to Gabriel Kwak. Back to Shadan. George Felipe, everyone inside the Hougang half at the moment. Diego Lopez, it took a deflection, and there was no chance that he was going to get to that Iswan Mahmoud if it was on target.
Oof. Wonderful run by George Felipe initially from the back line. Wins it, brings it forward, and then releases it into Diego Lopez. Look, Iswan was just praying and hoping that the ball will end up going wide. Wonderful atmosphere we've got here.
And you can probably hear that quite nicely as well. To the left and right of us.
And you just see George Felipe again throwing himself at that ball as it's come in from Shadan.
You know, Roshan, there's something to be said as well that the Lion City Sailors, that stardust that's been sprinkled into Singapore football and the way they've gone about their business, it has garnered fans. It really has. And we were talking about numbers coming in to the stadium and what they've done and the success they brought, and it really has started to get a whole bunch of support. Remember, of course, this was traditionally a club that was from the uniform services, so not a natural base. And of course, their home was in Bishan before. They're in Jalan Besar this year. So it's just nice to see they have expanded that fan base, haven't they?
Well, they've done well also to try and do things off the pitch. Doing well to market the club, to try and get interactions on social media, and to really push forward the message. And you know, it's not just about what you see on the pitch, it's about building an overall brand.
Absolutely.
And, you know, they're kind of showing the way. And, of course, I know finances come into it. We'll come back to that again as far as 6 parts of challenge.
Now Noor Adam. Shadan. Gabriel Kwak, he's got Tajali if he wants on the outside. Oh, and he snatched at it. Diego Lopez.
I'll tell you what, that was a lovely move, wasn't it? Again, Hougang just dropping off, almost onto the edge of their 6-yard box there, that back line. And that just gives Lion City Sailors an opportunity to get numbers into the area, into these dangerous positions. It's a poor finish by Lopez, and he knows, covering his face with his shirt there, but encouraging signs here. Plenty of time to work their way back into this game. Just going back to the point about making sure you've got your marketing game strong and on point, which is what the Lion City Sailors have done, and have showed that they, you know, got to lift the level, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well.
Absolutely.
And to the credit of some of the other clubs, they are trying to work with it, and all the other clubs who are getting involved on social media, trying to push themselves.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That bar has been raised.
You have to, and I think it's good for the game overall. That's what Singapore football needs. You know, you need people to step up and bring attention, draw attention towards these players, and give them a voice, give them a platform. You know, it's just great to see overall that, you know, if clubs aren't doing it, or if you know, whoever isn't doing it, people out there, the fans are stepping up, and they're talking about the game, and they're trying to draw interest with podcasts, with shows about it, and that's part and parcel of the ecosystem. And you know, it's a community. That's what the game's about.
Yeah, some very good podcasts out there. We'll come back to that in a minute, because there is a drinks break, and also I see that Hafiz Noor is going to come on shortly, Roshan. and a bit more zip. It'll be interesting to see who he replaces.
Yeah, a bit more pace in those attacking positions. That's why he'll bring a lot more directness as well.
So this is the only goal of the game so far. Well, that's a good angle for you to say what you're going to say, Roshan.
It looks to me, and again, I don't have access to a VAR, I don't have access to the fancy lines. And we don't have VAR, so it's no point for me talking about this.
Yeah,
but on that replay, not yet anyway. And on that replay, it looks like he's just slightly offside. But look, you got to play to the whistle. The flag hasn't gone up, so you carry on and you play. And he's done very well. It's a credit to them that they put that chance away and they put the opportunity away.
So Hafiz Noor comes in for Saifullah. So you just heard the analysis there from video assistant Roshan. But still some time away before we have that technology. I'm sure it won't be.
I mean, interesting to, you know, it's one of those things, right? VAR, where when it's not around, people constantly go, why isn't there VAR? I wish there was VAR. And then when it's around, people are going, well, we shouldn't have VAR.
Well, I know you and I stand firmly in favor of it.
I am in favor of it.
Absolutely.
I just think at times it can be used a little bit better.
Yep.
But generally, I am in favor of it. Which it's apparently in football, it's not quite a popular thing to say, is it?
No. I have been castigated many a time for praising VAR overall. Tajeli. So, Roshan, just a quick note then on Hafiz Noor coming in.
Oh, that's a brilliant header. Sorry, that's a brilliant header by Stipe. The way he's just headed it back into the path of Faris Ramli.
Quickly taken by Diego Lopez. Nice to see how fast they're moving around, their urgency. Gabriel Quack getting into the box. Oh, he's trying to go on the volley. Jorge Felipe. Well, it's typical of a Brazilian centre-back to try and throw himself into the attacking fray.
That would have been a brilliant finish, Jorge Felipe. If we could have found the back of the net with that. Let's have a look at how he flicks it up back towards him. A nice attacking play by Lion City Sailors down his right-hand side initially by Gabriel Quack. Nice flick up, set himself up for that shot.
Yeah, Russia, just going back to the point now, we've got Faris Ramli, who's come into that number 10 role, and Hafiz Noor has gone out wide, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. So it'll be Hafiz Noor occupying that position, initially taken up by Faris Ramli, and then now Faris just gets to float in these spaces in front of that Hougang defense, in behind that Hougang midfield. I can choose to make runs in behind as well from a sort of a free position. Let's see how that works out for the Sailors overall.
Hafiz. Oh, Hafiz trying to weave his way around. He's pulling back Diego Lopez. Might well get punished for it.
Yeah, I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing there. Initially, it looked like really good skill to keep a hold of the ball from Hafiz. And just unfortunately for him, he got taken off his toes by Diego Lopez. There you go. Skill just turn away from Tajeli initially. Then, yeah. He knows what he's got to do, take one for the team. Otherwise, there's an opportunity for the Sailors to break forward.
Faris now on this right-hand side for a little bit. Oh. Any kind of touch there from Fabian Kwok. And that is an own goal, but he did well.
Have to react very quickly to that. Got a shout and decided to pull his foot back away from the ball. Trust his goalkeeper to handle it.
Here's someone we haven't talked about at all in this game, Tomoki Doi. And that's just the kind of game it's been. Afik, Shawal. Farhan wanted the ball, didn't get it. And look at where he's placing himself now, Jorge Felipe.
Yeah, I think he's just been told to stay up there. Oh, really worked by Hafiz.
Still Hafiz. Oh, and that's the near post header. Listen to that crowd. Stipe Plazivat puts it in.
Just listen to that roar. And how much it means to the Lion City Sailors and their fans here. They kept plugging away, they kept going at it. Wonderful work by Hafiz Noor down his right-hand side. A substitution making a game-changing difference. Stipe Plazivat in acres of space in the 6-yard box there. Just needs to direct it towards goal.
Ghosting in between Fabian Kwok and Lionel Tan. Stipe Plazivat.
14th goal of the season.
He's 2 away from Tomoyuki Doi. Who's now second, joint second on the scoring list. And this man scores for fun. That is 77 goals in 94 appearances, Roshan, in Singapore's top flight.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Wonderful goal-scoring record.
Farhan Zulkifli is on the ground. They are not stopping here. Lion City Sailors, they want number 2. The referee, why did he blow the whistle at that point?
That's such a strange
Just
moment
as the header was being made.
Is he blowing for offside? I've seen the offside flag go up then. Maybe he's blowing for offside.
Well, that would be the logical explanation, right?
Yeah, because if he
I mean, I can't believe it would be anything else.
Apologies. I think the flag went up for offside there. Yeah. So yeah, that's why you blown the whistle for.
We'll take that back.
Apologies to Taufik Tana. Well done, referee. That's why we're commentators, Shaz.
Video assisted Roshan strikes again. Here's Diego Lopez. But Roshan, what a goal. That just, the wind in their sails now, right?
Yeah. Look, I mean, the thing is, they kept plugging away. They didn't panic, did they? I mean, unless you consider pushing Josh Felipe up there as panicking.
I would say that kind of qualifies for it. Here he is with the header. So while he's up there, we've got Tajeli, Harris and Noor Adam.
There's a change in shape. You know, it's just gone into a back 3 here. As you see that cross from Gabriel come in, it's a decent cross, but Anders does very well just to make sure that he's there. He's got his presence is there, and it's enough to put Georges Felipe off a clean header. You know, Lion City Sailors, the players have spoken about this, the fact that Kim Do-hoon wants them to be flexible and within games, changing their formation depending on the situation. And we're seeing an example of that when they need to chase a goal. It's, you know, we're seeing Georges Felipe, you go up, we'll have a back 3 here with our fullbacks tucking in, playing as central defenders.
Look what Diego Lopez is.
Yeah, now he's filling in as an auxiliary centre back.
Amazing.
What a game of football.
This has been absolutely, and I tell you what, there were goosebumps with the reaction to that goal, Roshan. The crowd was superb. Here is Yamazaki. Oh, there was an overlap. Look at that. It was in all acres of space. Shawal Anwar.
Big challenge. Such an important challenge by Noor Adam. Oh,
that is not a good challenge
twice
from Hafiz. That could be, well, I think it's going to be yellow.
Well, it's a bit of a...
Oh, that didn't look good, did it, on Anders Applin? It could have been worse. And that's what Clement Teo, I think that's the point he's making.
It's getting dramatic on the touchlines as well. Both coaches up on their feet.
Oh, I think he slipped, did he? Did he not slip?
I think he just perhaps lost his footing a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, he's overreaching. It's, the first touch is, that touch there is just a little bit too heavy.
That angle isn't great, is it?
Well, here's another look at that. Just have a look here, if you can. This touch from Doi, and then here from Noor Adam. That's a crucial touch, because as he skips past Yamazaki, if he skips past him, Shawal Anwar's in acres of space there. Well done, young man.
What a second half this is.
Yeah.
Balance is so nicely poised, isn't it?
This is brilliant for the neutral out there. If you're watching this, you're seeing two sides going at it, whereas in the first half, you only really sort of had the Lion City Sailors being the team that were looking to create opportunities. Now you've got Hougang as well, doing something with the ball.
Let's remind you of why it's so dramatic with this goal.
Well, it's wonderful work by Hafiz Noor again. I mean, just twisting and turning. And Anders will be disappointed with the fact that he just got beaten, because he dove in to that cutback. This is Hafiz. He thinks Hafiz is going to send that cross in, first time on his right leg. Bit of invention from Hafiz, cuts it back onto his left foot and plays a delightful ball into Stipe Plazivat. Just run himself into a bit of space there, worked himself into a bit of space to find a finish. It's good movement from the striker in the box as well. Deserves credit for that.
Well, Hougang are going to bring on their third and final change, and it's one they have to do now. Remember, they want to win this, and it's going to be their Brazilian striker, Gilberto Fortunato. Well, Nazwa Nazari. Here's Doi. Out to Shawal. Was he going to pull the trigger? Well, that is what you want to see more of on both sides, attacking with intent. And Farhan will make way for the Brazilian Gilberto Fortunato, joined the club recently. A well-travelled Brazilian who's had stints all over the world, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Most recently in Kosovo before he came here.
He's had a difficult season in the sense that he's struggled with a few injuries. Been an issue for him. There's another look at that. Doi with a bit of space to just turn on the ball and play it into Shawal. Cutting across it.
Returning back to the action. Here's Hafiz. Oh, and a near post again. It's Stipe Plazibat.
Yeah, good tracking of the run by Fabian Kwok. Follows the run this time. Makes sure he's got his man all the way through. Hafiz, his substitution here has changed the game for the Lion City Sailors, just with his directness and his pace, his willingness to take on these defenders. Tire legs as well amongst that Hougang backline perhaps. We've been under the cosh, under lots of pressure in this game.
Shadan back to Harris, got to be careful. Lovely work from Diego Lopez, but he's giving as good as he gets. Oh, what a little battle that was between Diego Lopez and Shawal Anwar, the two number 10s. Faris is going to struggle to get there. Has he won a corner? Yes, he has.
Yeah, it's just come off Hafiz there. Hafiz Abu Sujat, not Hafiz Noor. I have to clarify. Yeah, just that last touch of the number 8 Hafiz, the Hougang Hafiz. Jalan Besar is rocking.
It really is. And that was the point I was making earlier with the goosebump comment, because it's fantastic to hear this crowd celebrate. The Lion City Sailors equalised. Lopez curls that in towards his countryman. Offside is the shout.
Yeah, it's again wonderful work. Nice idea. I think flag just went up for offside there, but looking for this winner here.
Oh, we're going to have it. About 10 minutes left, including some added time. This is actually the perfect result, almost, for Albrecht. They probably prefer a Hougang win.
Uh-oh, Shawal's gone down there.
They're not getting up anytime soon, unfortunately for him. And Hafiz will get to that. Still down, by the way. Faris.
Oh, what a ball that was from Hafiz Noor.
Cross.
That was just screaming for a finish. Have a look at the quality on this cross. Look at where he's put that. Right on top of the 6-yard box, whipped in with such wonderful pace. Just crying out for a finish. Josh Felipe, as he's done all game, flings himself towards it. Just can't apply the finishing touch on that occasion. Shawal's gone down. He's been a bit unfortunate as well with injuries.
He's had that, hasn't he, dogging his career.
Such
in the last few years, especially.
Such a talented player. Really enjoy watching him, and said it's not just about his pace and his dribbling ability. He's got good technical qualities as well. Some delayed reaction perhaps to that challenge from Harris. Maybe he's felt a boot in the abdomen or an arm. I think there's that forearm across.
Still, he hasn't really moved, you know, Roshan.
Yeah, I think it's because it's probably connected with the family jewels. Or his
I don't know, your eyesight's better than mine.
Maybe just winded him a little bit.
I mean, let's hope it is the family jewels rather than anything else, honestly, because that, you know, you'll get over that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, good signs, very good signs. He is okay. Talking of injuries,
just in the abdomen. I think you're right there. Just in the ribs, perhaps as well.
Just talking about injuries, Stipe Plasibat was someone who missed out on the business end of the last few seasons. Absent for the final 2 games for Hougang, as they were very, very close to their first ever title in 2019. Then last year he had a hamstring injury. He only played a bit part, just 6 minutes in the last 5 games for the Sailors. And he says he really wants to be around for this now. So foul on Faris from Yamazaki. Roshan, at the end of the day, as good as this has been from Hougang, it's not going to be enough, is it?
If they end up with just a point.
Yeah.
In terms of a title challenge, yeah, not quite.
But on the merits of this game,
on the merits of this game,
brilliant.
It's been excellent to watch from the Cheetahs, especially in the second half.
Yeah. Bobbling around, Faris with the innocuous shot in the end.
Big chance, that one. I mean, it falls to him nicely. He just takes his eye off the ball. Probably thinking of a celebration already. Doesn't make the right connection on that. Faris, what an opportunity this is. Makes a meal of that.
Back to Hafiz, who's enjoyed his time on that right-hand side, hasn't he? Gabriel Kwak. Well, he decides to smash that forward instead of picking it up, is one.
Listen, just to come back to that thing about the point you were making about Hougang, I think overall, again, coming into this season, I don't think they would have been regarded as, you know, realistic title challenges. You know, you look at Albirex, Lion City Sailors, Tampines Rovers would have started the season as one of people's title favorites. So you think it was going to be those 3, and perhaps those 3 finishing in the top 3 positions. So the fact that Hougang have had the season that they've had so far, I'll come back to it.
Here's Faris. Hafiz. Oh, and he's knocked it away from his teammates, hasn't he, Lopez?
Yeah. Again, the fact that the Hougang have had the season that they've had so far, I think it's a credit to them. And when you actually look at the squad, when you actually analyze it over the course of the season, they've been unlucky with the timing of injuries to certain players in key moments.
Fact of the matter is, though, they had got themselves in this kind of position, didn't they?
Yeah.
And we look back, I think you touched on the last few results. The vast majority of their losses this season have been to those teams in that little upper division.
Yeah, exactly. It's losses to Albirex.
Yeah.
It's losses to Lion City Sailors.
But then there's that one defeat in that 4 that sticks out painfully for them.
Tanjung
It's the Tanjung Pagar one.
Yep. And then a couple of draws. I think against Tanjung Pagar as well. And then Young Lions.
Stood up there for the keeper to get hold of, and Plasibat doesn't get there. We are just about to approach the 90th minute of this game. Hugely frustrating for both sides, different sort of reasons here. Referee has spotted something.
I think there's a bit of an issue perhaps between Felipe and Lionel Tan. Just off the ball, just decided to have a word with both these players. Good common sense refereeing there, and he's making sure he's given a throw in the right way as well.
Plasibat. Now Gabriel Kwak. Lopez. Nice run by Jules Felipe, who's now in that centre forward role. Plasibat. Still Plasibat. Oh, he's lost his footing when he looked like he might pull the trigger. Here's Gilberto. He's just trying to relieve the pressure, get the ball away.
The fourth official has indicated that there will be 4 minutes of added time.
4 minutes. There's the verdict on the amount of added time we'll have. There's Gabriel Quack. He attacks it! Oh, what a save that is! Is one brilliant, but it's still danger here. And cleared off the line! 2 superb chances for Lion City Sailors, and they've hung on here.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, sorry. I'm just getting ahead of myself there, Shazza. Sorry about that.
Brilliant. Go ahead.
First, incredible save by Iswan. How he gets down to that so quickly is amazing. Just enjoy this. What a save. Pushed it away from the danger zone as well.
Then this.
And then the second one. Nazrul, have a look at that back post.
Oh.
I think that was headed in, you know.
Oh.
I think that was headed in towards the far post.
And Roshan has got to get that just right, doesn't he? Otherwise that goes in as an own goal.
Excellent reading of the game by Nazrul Nazari. Wonderful last-ditch defending.
If there was a moment in this game to sum up what we've seen, that would be it, Roshan. The ferocious attacking intent of Lion City Sailors and the defensive solidity of Hougang United. Diego Lopez, meanwhile, has got a yellow card. The tensions are high in these final few minutes.
I say we got to have more than the minimum of the 4.
I want more.
It is a minimum. I don't want this to end.
Yeah, absolutely. What a fantastic sequence of events there as far as Hougang are concerned. I love my Friday night footballs, Roshan, at Jalan Besar Stadium, I've got to say. Over the years, we've seen some classic matches here. We might not have a winner tonight, but this one has been an absolute treat. Hafiz Sujan, anywhere will do right now. Have about a minute and a half, probably a little bit more with that stoppage for Anders Applin. Afik Noor is going to do better with the header. He had so much time on it. Here's Faris. Now Diego Lopez. Faris, back to Lopez. Lots of jerseys in and around that box. It's put out for a corner.
Yeah, good link up between the two of them there. Down that right-hand side. Just looking to lift it towards the back post for George Felipe to attack as the corner comes in.
Felipe gets a touch. Faris Rumley will keep it alive. They'll get that away. I think combination of Lionel Tan and Shawal Anwar. Everyone is back. Gabriel. Lopez tries to put it across. Gilberto Fortunato doing his defensive duties. He's trying to push his teammates further forward. They don't want to be too deep. And that might well be it. Look at the watch. Referee says George Felipe. Oh, good work from Hafiz. George Felipe with a late challenge. It skips past it, doesn't he? Hafiz. They're throwing themselves to the ground. The referee has seen enough. He's only played 10 or 12 seconds more, and that's why I think George Felipe is going up to him, because there was that stoppage, wasn't there, for Anders Applin, Roshan?
Yeah, look, to me, I thought we'd get at least a minute or two. But look, additional time. I think that's what the players are going over to have a word with the referee about. It is up to the discretion of the referee, of course it is. We can have our opinions about it. I thought there should have been at least a minute more played. But take nothing away from the game that we've just seen here at the Jalan Besar Stadium. Absolutely incredible. You see George Felipe there saying we expected 2 more minutes. Look, I just wanted to make the point as well about the fans here at Jalan Besar Stadium. And people often go on and bang on about Kallang Raw this and Kallang Raw that from the Malaysia Cup days. but fans have a part to play in making the atmosphere, and we've seen that here at the Jalan Besar Stadium tonight. The fans that have come out here into this Jalan Besar Stadium have made a huge difference to the atmosphere, and the players on the pitch have absolutely delivered as well.
Well, we can tell you, after all that, the full-time score here at Jalan Besar Stadium is Lion Cities 1, Hougang United 1.
Yeah, what a game. What a game. I mean, I think partly, well, I'll speak for myself. I'm partly disappointed we actually didn't get a bit more stoppage time, just because I wanted to see these guys go at it for a couple more minutes at least.
In agreement with you, Roshan. It's been one of those games where we've seen end-to-end stuff in the second half in particular that has really, really got the fans on their feet.
Yeah, you know, kudos to everyone that's come out here. Being able to get tickets to watch this game, because it's not just sitting there and have a look at that.
Unbelievable. Almost 4 times as many shots from Lion City Sailors, 6 on target. Very few of those required a big save, but talking about big saves, we'll have that in a minute. Hougang with the only shot on target resulting in their goal, and it ends, so the most important stat of all, in a draw. Take a breath. Take a breath, because
good advice for me.
Dramatic stuff. We have been on the edge of our seats, literally on the edge of our seats.
Yeah. Look, it's been an incredible game of football. I've just enjoyed it so much. Just the tempo that it was played at. The fact that we had opportunity after opportunity. 25 shots for the Lion City Sailors. I said in second half when I was talking about it that we'd see those shots being racked up. But here's the opening goal of the game, Shez, through Anders Aplin. I mean, it was Hougang's, I think, essentially the first real shot on target, or attempt on target. But have a look at this here. It's a tight one, it's a close one. But he's got to apply the finish, and he does that really well. Kaishu Yamazaki playing that ball, picking up another assist for himself this season. And Anders Aplin finding the back of net there with a good header, guiding it back towards target. And then Tomiyuki Doi here has a bit of space to turn on it. Sees that Hassan is off his line and decides to have a go at goal from range.
They really just came into their own attack-wise, didn't they, when they changed things up, Roshan, at the start of the second
They did a change of formation for them, really worked for them in terms of their play with the ball in that possession phase. But after these couple of opportunities, you have to say it was really the Lion City Sailors all the way. You know, chasing that equalizer, looking for it, looking to carve out these little opportunities, making those substitutions that change the match for them, especially Hafiz Noor coming on. Made a big impact, as we see Faris Ramli with that shot from range, just going straight down the middle. I think Diego Lopez just wants to receive it there, doesn't quite get it. It's a simple enough save for Izwan in the end to make. And look, when they were able to get themselves into these counter-attacking transitional moments, few and far between, because they had to be the side that, as Hougang set back a lot more, they had to be the side that were in possession of it, had to break down the opposition with lots of ball possession here. And on this occasion, that shot on the counter-attack from Diego Lopez, just going straight down the middle. Another simple save for Izwan.
This was the goal, wasn't it? Great work from Hafiz.
Wonderful work from Hafiz. Initially, he skips past the challenge of Kaishu Yamazaki, and then he takes on Anders. And then that ability to take a player on in that 1v1. You talk about breaking down deep-lying defenses. When you've got a player with that quality, you can take on defenders one-on-one, and then cut it on, have that composure to cut it back onto his left foot before playing it into Stipe Plazibat. That replay angle just before this gave us a really great look. I touched on that movement of Stipe Plazibat. That gave us a really great look about the movement of Stipe Plazibat. But how about this save from Izwan here? Banks-esque. Again, that's like a throwback to, what's that, the 60s? But the way he just gets down and saves that one is absolutely incredible. And then Nazrul Nazari with some last-ditch defending on the line there. Wonderful reading of the game, Nazrul. A wonderful sense of danger. Sensing that, look, there's danger here. I've not got a man to mark. Where's the opening? Where could the shot possibly go? Position myself there, and hopefully I get a challenge in and push that ball away. And that's exactly what he did. A wonderful experience coming to the fore. Good reading of the game to get himself in that position. We look at it. Most of us will think, "Wow, great last-ditch defending, late challenge." But that thinking behind it, that insight to see that's the danger.
He anticipated
the anticipation that angle is not covered. He might go across goal. Get myself in there and make that challenge. Wonderful last-ditch defending to keep the scores level.
Encapsulating what has been a brilliant game. The reality, the stark reality now for when we look at
Hougang United is that they are probably now, Russian, out of it. I know we put it into context that they weren't ever really one of the teams to consider, but they're now going to find it a lot harder, Hougang, to catch up with the other two.
Yeah.
But boy, have they put a dent in Lion City Sailors. We'll come back to that in a short while, because now the man in the hot seat is Kim Do-hoon. We're going to hear from him.
Coach Kim, you had a lot of possession but couldn't get the win. What did you make of that performance?
아니, 볼 점유율은 높았는데 이제 승리를 못 거뒀는데 이제 일반 경기 어떻게 보셨나요?
뭐 선수들 끝까지 최선을 다한 것에 대해서는 일단 긍정적이라고 생각하고 있습니다. 일단 우리가 찬스를 만드는 데 있어서는 굉장히 좋은 기회를 만들었다 생각하는데 뭐 승점 상점이 아니지만 그래도 우리 선수들 다음에 발전할 수 있는 기회를 삼아야 된다고 생각하고 있습니다.
It's a shame that we couldn't get the 3 points, but the players played hard. They gave it everything, so that's the positive. We had a lot of chances in the game, and everyone was trying hard, so we'll try hard next game again.
You got 2 weeks break until your next game. How would you assess your team's performances since you've joined the club?
이제 저희가 2주간 휴식이 있는데요. 감독님이 팀에 들어오신 다음에 팀이 어떻게 변했다고 느끼셨나요?
뭐 일단 이전보다 우리가 좀 더 스피드하고 또 공수 전환에 있어서 좀 빠른 전환이 있다고 저는 생각하고 있습니다. 뭐 선수들도 그렇고 일단 축구하는 것에 대해서 좀 재미를 더 느꼈으면 하는 바람을 가지고 있습니다.
We can see that we are much quicker in transition. They defend a lot more effectively, and hopefully we can play a more enjoyable football.
All right, thank you.
감사합니다.
The stark reality, Roshan, is that it's 3 draws in 5 now since he's taken over.
Yeah.
I know we've got to put context into it. He's got to bed things in, but they are dropping points at the crucial juncture in this campaign.
You're absolutely right. And again, I know you touched on the fact that he's just come in, he's still trying to get his ideas across, but such is the situation with the job, in that it's a high pressure environment. You're being paid big money to come in, and instantly you've almost got to build this aeroplane while it's flying almost, and that's the job that he's got ahead of him. And I don't think for 1 second that he thinks a draw in this game is acceptable at all, because he will want that title. He's not looking for excuses.
That we'll have a look at the table and show you the context of all of that. But first of all, let's get the perspective of the opponents here. Let's hear from Clement Teo from Hougang United.
Coach Clement, a draw against one of the competition's heavyweights. What did you make of that performance?
I mean, credit to the boys. They gave all they could. And yes, we were fortunate. No doubt about it. By the end of the day, we're happy with a point, definitely.
There was some incredible last-ditch defending in the final minutes. You must be proud of how the boys were able to scramble to keep the 1 point.
Definitely. I mean, credit to them. You know, they have worked tremendously hard. They knew what was expected of them. They gave their all, and we as a coaching staff, we are very pleased with the effort that they have put in.
You've got 2 weeks now until your next game. Do you think this mini break has come at a good time for your side to freshen up for the final few games?
I mean, it has been up and down for us, and a 2-week break will do us some good, I'm sure.
All right, thank you. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Right.
You know, Clement Teo is a fairly understated kind of guy. He's also a realist. Lucky might be a little bit harsh on his side today, Roshan. Perhaps there were some chances, but not too many clear-cut ones. I thought they defended really well today.
I think in the first half, they did really well to sort of limit the Lion City Sailors to clear-cut, high-quality opportunities. But I think in the second half, when they opened up a little bit more, that's when we started to see Lion City Sailors again. Then that fatigue was always going to sort of set in as well. Then we started to see a little bit more opportunities for the Sailors. Let's remember there was a bit of poor finishing as well. We had Farias with a good opportunity. He just completely scuffed it. We had Diego Lopez with a good opportunity. As that defense started to drop deeper and deeper and deeper, almost onto their 6-yard box, they could have really been punished in that second half, I thought. So I'd agree with that. But again, at the end of the day, as I said, 2 hours ago now, in professional football, it's just about getting the result. He's satisfied with the point, which is good enough for them at the end of the day, I think. You know, all things considered, and how under pressure they were in this game.
You know, we're going to look at the standings now, and whilst it might show that Hougang are out of the title race, they'll be very, very happy with that performance. But more importantly now, Roshan, Lion City Sailors are 2 points away from Albrechts Nagata, who are going to play over the weekend, and then increase that lead, but they still get to play each other.
They still do. So, you know, there's that. As long as they can kind of keep themselves within touching distance of Albrechts Nagata, they give themselves an opportunity. Bigger picture, they're still in it. There's still a title race here to look forward to. There's still a weekend of football to look forward to as well. So, you know, I mean, overall, there are other games here for the Lion City Sailors to work at in terms of trying to claw back that gap, that 2-point gap at the moment. And, you know, as you mentioned, they still got to play each other, so that should be a cracking contest and a cracking game of football.
And reminder that third still guarantees you a place in Asia's competition next year as well, so let's not forget that.
Yep.
Now, let's also remind you of the fixtures, the rest of the fixtures this weekend. Geylang International, Young Lions, both of them, of course, have had that resurgence recently. That is tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. And then the big one in terms of the title race, Balestier Khalsa. They have a chance to upset the apple cart. They take on Albrechts Nagata at Jurong East. And then on Sunday, Tampines Rovers host Tanjong Pagar United. So that brings an end to the proceedings. Roshan, a quick final word from you.
I think I've said it all pretty much over the 90 minutes or so, and then the pre-match build-up that we had. Just really grateful to have had the opportunity to be here, to experience the quality on the pitch, the display of football that we've seen on the pitch, and also a big shout-out to the fans that were here whipping up that atmosphere. It was just incredible. Incredible experience overall.
What a great way for us to work together again on the Singapore football. What a perfect advertisement for the SPL, not just with the players on the pitch, but everyone else around watching it. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again very, very soon.